Firstly, welcome everybody to the 40K to 400K Shopify Formula Workshop. A lot of new faces, which is always lovely. And this is going to be all about strategy that we're using right now to help other Aussie-based brands grow anywhere from scratch up to 40K and beyond in their businesses. And I've already done a disclaimer. I'll just go over it quickly that we do use this for marketing purposes, this workshop. So make sure if you do have your webcam on, that you are chatting, that you're okay, understanding that this will be used afterwards. It'll be on YouTube and maybe in some other areas, but we cannot alter this afterwards. So make sure we operate accordingly. Now we are going to have a bit of an intro. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to try have a decent pace here that's not too quick, but fast enough that we can get into the good stuff for you because you've already been so patient with me. But I'll jump into it now. So a couple of things I really want to make sure is that we put away about the next 60 to 70 minutes. Typically, this depends, how interactive the audience is being. Sometimes it can go a little longer, but if you can put away about 60 to 70 minutes with us from now, that'll be awesome. Remove as many distractions as you can, but also don't worry. If you've got kids and pets and things like that, that is absolutely understandable. Just mute yourself appropriately. Secondly, a lot of webcams, which is really lovely. We love seeing people's faces. We do a lot of feedback. And if you're able to, pop it on. If not, that is okay. You can sit in the background if you'd like. And lastly, we're already doing really well at this. There is the chat function in Zoom. We're going to be asking quite a lot of questions throughout this session. So we are going to use mainly the chat feature as our kind of back and forth until we bring people off stage. So as long as all that makes sense, could I please have everyone leave a yes in the chat below in the Zoom chat, just to make sure that everyone's all good to go, that I know we're all on the same page. I see a lot of yes. Oh, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, you're a very, very interactive crowd. Thank you very much. Yes, awesome. All right, we'll jump into things then. Okay. Cool. A few goals I really want to help nail for everybody here today. The first one is going to be all about how to turn browsers into buyers. And what I'm talking about when I say this, it is really referring to conversion rate. And what conversion rate is say you have a website and 100 people go to your website and one purchases, that is a 1% conversion rate. Now, if you had 100 people go to the website and 5 purchase from you, that is a 5% conversion rate. So naturally, a big part of what we do is really focusing on how can we make sure we build websites and help people build brands and websites that have high conversion rates so their business stays profitable. The second bit is we want to see what is not working in your business right now. A lot of people here already are running businesses. Some people are just starting, that's fine. But for those who are, you might be wondering, why am I not seeing the results of the growth that I want? We're going to tackle why that might be today. And ultimately, I want everyone here to leave with a plan on what it is you need to focus on over the next 90, 180, 270, 360 days in your business to really start seeing that growth that you're after. So that is what I want everyone to leave with today. And a couple questions I typically get when I speak about this workshop beforehand to people. Ultimately, I know everybody just wants to know, is this going to work for me, what we go through today? Is what we teach actually relevant to you? And usually in this space, it comes down to a couple things that people are particularly thinking. And usually it's, I sell maybe an interesting product. Maybe I make my own product, or maybe I found some, really out there product that I want to sell. Is what you're going to go through today going to be relevant for me? And I want to really nail this home, guys, that everything we teach here is going to be fundamental to selling products online. So it doesn't matter what kind of products you sell. We work in just about every niche that you could think of. As long as you are selling products online, what we go through today will be usable and impactful for your business or the business you're trying to start. Secondly, is this going to be relevant for you at the size that you're at? Now, a lot of people come into these as very beginners. Some people don't even have products yet, and they're just thinking, is this the right thing for me? And then we have some people who watch along as well who are already scaling to 6-figure months. And it doesn't matter where you are along that journey, what we go through today will be relevant for you. And the reason why is because the things that we do when we work with brands that are scaling, it's more of an optimization, but we teach those optimizations as fundamentals to those who are starting. So even if you're just beginning, what we go through today will be very, very useful for you. And everyone here is in the right place, I'd like to say. Lastly, and this is a very important question, what we go through today, is it going to work now? Especially when you're getting information from the internet. You don't know what's what. You don't know when it's from. You don't even know if it's real. So I want to let you guys understand that, and we'll go through this in a minute on how it works, but everything that we teach you today is directly going to be derived from the results that we get from the brands that we are already working with. So it's all being battle tested day in, day out, year on year. If we're doing this in 5 more years, I can tell you it's going to be battle tested and relevant then too. So a couple people that we really tend to see the best results with, and I want to see if this is connecting with the people in the audience today, and that is typically someone who they can find passion in why they're doing this. And it's not like a cheesy kind of airy fairy passion idea. It's more like, you have a drive to do this, and it comes from a couple different areas I've noticed. You might be someone who has always wanted to build a business for yourself and has always been business savvy, and you really want to have a crack at that. Or maybe you just love building businesses and now you're in the e-commerce space. It's a little different from before and you just need that expertise. Or maybe you're somebody who you love the product that you make and you just want to get it out there more. Or maybe you're somebody who just wants to build a bit of a legacy to leave over for their family moving forward. Whatever it is, as long as you understand why you're doing that, then perfect. I think we can definitely help you here. Secondly, something I hear all the time from people who are getting into e-commerce is that they become very overwhelmed very easily because it very quickly becomes like, I don't know what I don't know. I hear that all the time, and then you find 100 things that you could be focusing on. You don't know what it is you're supposed to be doing, so you juggle plates until something falls, and yeah, it kind of creates that stress. And what we really like helping people do is to get very clear on these are your next steps, because that's what's going to help you overcome the overwhelm is by getting clear on those steps. And then lastly, to be frank, I think everybody here who is running a business or wants to start a business ultimately wants to make money at the end of the day. So everything we do is all about building profitable businesses, not just ones that do high revenue, but actual profit. So you're not just paying the ATO, your staff, your manufacturers, ad costs, etc. You actually have money to take away at the end of the month for the business that you're building. Now, Paul, back with us, Chris?
Yes, I'm
Yep.
back.
Yeah, there he is.
Back.
Awesome. So,
Good to
Paul,
go.
I'm going to have you jump back on and just maybe give a bit of introduction as to who we are, what we do, and yeah, why everybody here who's been lovely so far should spend the next hour or so with us.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Thanks, Chris. Thanks everyone for spending your Wednesday night with us. So, I'll give you my backstory. So, I started in the e-commerce space all the way back in 1996. So, I was a massive computer nerd, and I thought at the time, I'm like, what's the cheapest way that I can get computer parts cheaper and also sell them to my mates and then get whatever I want to build on my own stuff that I wanted. So, I thought I'm going to start an e-commerce business. So, I started selling computer parts about 5 years, 4 or 5 years later. I started selling computer parts on the internet. My first website was built with Notepad, and it looks horrendous. If you go back to like the way back when machine, you'll be able to see the first version of it. But come 2014, after having that business for better half of whatever it was, 15 years or something, I sold it to an ASX listed company. And that brand's still alive now. It's owned by a company called Harris Technology. During the time that I owned that business, I set up a dev company who, over time, we actually made a considerable better website. So the website tech, by the time that business sold, was probably on par with what you guys are using with Shopify these days. But after I sold the business, over time, I wound down my Insightful brand from doing dev for the Walk-On brand. And I pivoted to first, it was a WordPress agency where we just built tons of WordPress sites every year. But then a couple of years later, probably 8 years ago now, or 6 years ago or something, we made the decision to go all in on Shopify. So now we build probably more than 100 Shopify sites a year, and we build them for 6, 7, 8-figure brands. Got an amazing dev team over there. And then one of the other things I realized was because I was still building sites, and then we were doing all the marketing for a lot of those brands as well. So at one point, I was fractional marketing manager for about 8 different brands. They'll pay me lots of money to grow all their ventures for all of them, all their Google ads, their Meta ads, their email, their SEO, their everything. But I said to Chris, I said, this is tired. This is hard work. So we sat down and I said, why don't we build another thing called the e-commerce circle? So the e-commerce circle now exists as our e-commerce coaching community. We have over 400 and must be like 415 brands or something in there now. Chris and Chris, again, we coach 6, 7, and 8-figure brands in there. We're doing like 8 calls a week. We take brands from like you guys that are on the call, from brand new to like, your first 10 grand, your first 100 grand, your first 400 grand, and so forth. So all I'm about pretty much is e-com. Most importantly, what I would say I'm all about is I'm a dad. I've got a 4-year-old, I've got a 5-year-old, got a partner. And I think it's very important that you build businesses that are profitable and largely fun to operate. I mean, no one gets into e-commerce because it's fun. It's hard work, right? But I want to be the guy that helps you build profitable brands that are you're proud of, and that you get up excited to go to work every day. And most importantly, you know what to actually do, because there's a lot of gurus in the space that teach you shit that like never works. Worked for them once and now they're a business coach. All right. So that's our mission with the e-commerce circle. So we'll talk about what that is as we go through tonight's journey, and hope to see all of you in there by tomorrow. So
Cheers. All right. Yeah, and guys, this is all just to say that everything we are going to teach you, once again, it is all backed up by practice. We do this every day. We're helping other brands grow. And I am going to take you through a couple of examples of some brands that I think are quite amazing that we've done some great work with, just to see, give you examples of the kind of people that are, the stories that they are having building these brands. This is Liz. She runs Industrial Shed. I think the team will just drop a link to their website there. You can check them out. But Liz came to us running this business. It was doing about 40 grand per month. So she already had some traction in the business. But naturally, they sell tools, and in that industry, they're against people like Bunnings. So it's a very, very hard industry to break into. And I know a lot of people here might be feeling like they're getting into saturated niches too. And I'll just let you know, like the work we did with her, and it's going to be, again, what we go through and what we teach you today was simply we helped her to really nail down who that brand was, create a high converting website to allow her to compete with those bigger brands and grow consistently since then. And now she's done, I think she does about 250K a month at the moment and growing. We're going, pretty fast and pretty aggressive with her growth from here. So even a brand like hers, we've been able to do some awesome work with. But then someone like Paul and Delane, who they were, they run Nature's Pantry. Again, we'll leave a link as well. They sell protein and collagen supplements, and they were doing the market hustle, right? And for them, they knew they had an awesome product because they would do about, look, 10 to 15 grand just from doing markets. They knew that people would keep coming back and buying the products, but they also thought this could be so much bigger, but we know we can't do it this way. We can't scale this way. And that's how they got in touch with us because they knew online was the way. And they just wanted to work with people who could kind of fill those gaps for them while they kept working on that amazing business. And same thing as we did with Liz, created that high converting website, really nailed their branding, and then from there just got traffic consistently to the website, increasing every month to the point where I think their last month they did about 130K pretty consistently over the last few months. So they are just loving life. They are, kind of they build a business that they want. It's lean, it provides them the lifestyle, and they're kind of just coasting at this level at this point. So yeah, and they started from markets. And then even somebody like we got people here who are not necessarily techie people, right? Like you've never built a website before, or you don't really want to be a web developer. That's completely fine. We've had people like Karen on the left here who she runs, I think it's called Tea with Karen is the URL, but she basically paints her own teacups and sells them online. She used to be on Etsy doing about 3 to 4 grand a month. She knew she had to get more control in her business to start growing it. So we helped her move over to Shopify, again, the high converting website, the brand messaging, and to start getting traffic over that website from there. And I think the last time I checked in with her, she was doing like 15 to 20K per month. That was the last time I spoke to her. But she's making waves with her business and growing it from here. But then also people like Jade, who she's on the right now. Jade's someone who is a full-time physiotherapist, has 2 kids, has no time in the world, but knew that she wanted to start a business kind of on the side of what she's already doing. And she didn't even have a product, but she came to the same call that you're on right now about 12 months ago, a bit over, I think. And we helped her following our frameworks, just kind of pick products that work for her and for her business, and to help her build this other business bit by bit. Every day, she puts in about 30 minutes to an hour after she puts the kids away to bed. And the last time we actually caught up, this is over 12 months from starting with us, from having nothing. She's doing 40K per month in her business as well. So this is to say, if you only have a little bit of time, that is okay. It's just about making sure that the time you do spend in your business is used effectively, which is something we really helped her nail. And then even someone like Leah, who she had a product that she loved, but she hasn't made any sales yet, but she knew it was something great and she just wanted to chase it. Again, same thing with her. We really focused on the website side of things, got that brand messaging nailed, and then just went to traffic from there. And within 4 months, she did her first 10K month. And now she's just super excited. She's looking to really get that ball rolling as fast as possible moving forward. So, again, this is all just to say that doesn't matter where you're at. I believe that we can help you on today's call and moving forward after this, if this is something that you really want to do. And we don't make it like hidden at all. We want everyone here to eventually be one of those people that I've just showed you before on those case studies. So I'm actually going to ask everyone's permission here. If you're okay, at the end of the session, after we've gone through all the good stuff, shown you what we can do, gone through the audits and all that, that we share with you how you can continue to get our support moving forward. We've actually got a pretty special program that we're releasing tonight that's going to be mainly for people in this workshop today. So if you're okay with us sharing that at the end, please just leave me a yes in the chat so I know we're all good to go, and we'll kind of kick things off. And if it's a no, no worries, everybody. You don't need to be held to the end here. You're free to leave whenever. Oh, wow. I saw like 20 yeses just come in straight away. Oh, okay. Wow. It went from 0 to like 24 notifications there for me. Thank you,
All the
everybody.
yeses.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. That's awesome. Okay, well,
So,
in that case, I'll try get us into the good stuff. So, one thing I really love to know about the audience, everybody, and I have a good idea. I think I spoke to most of you. it really helps us to know where is everybody at in your journey right now. So when we give feedback, we can understand the audience is mainly startups or they're in the scale up phase, whatever it may be. But you'll see we have the startup here, the setup, the grow up, or the scale up, and it's all based on just the revenue you're at. So if you're anywhere from no sales or business to 10K, you're a startup, then it's just onwards from there. Let us know whereabouts are you at, just so we have an idea of the audience. Yeah, cool. Those startups, that's completely fine. And don't feel like you might be a scale up or you might be a startup. Don't feel like you're in the wrong place. Again, it just this is how it normally works, but everything we go through will make relevant for you. So a couple grow ups, a scale up. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Access to recording. Yeah, everyone here will have access to recording. Okay, a really good mix here today. So I think what we should do is we'll probably try and pick one of the websites that's in the scale up phase and maybe one that's in the startup phase to give you both kind of like a feel of how this works from both ends of the spectrum. So maybe Paul, start making sure you got those websites selected if you haven't already.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
while I teach everybody a little bit about our system. So when we tell people about the results that we get and how we do it, they kind of there tends to be this thing where people think that we're either BSing them or it's just luck with a couple brands. And to be completely frank, if you're able to do something time and time again across different niches in the space, it's going to be because you have a system, not because of luck. And I want to teach you what that system is that we teach everybody. Hello, Graham. Thank you for jumping in. So this system doesn't matter if you're somebody who comes to us and you're already doing 50 grand a month, you want to get to 100 grand, or you're somebody who just tells me, look, I want to start a business and I want to do it correct from the very beginning. These are the same four things that we help everyone nail. So I'm going to go through, it's called the more orders model, and I'm going to go through each step of what it is and why it's so important. This is a BS-free zone. Exactly right, Rod. He can tell you all about it. You're new to all this, Graham. No worries, mate. Strap yourself in. So the first part is stock. Now, this is all about product, which I think is pretty self-explanatory, but people seem to hear a lot of information out there that we can just pick cheap products and sell them for twice the price on Shopify, and people will just come to your websites and you can build good brands that way. It's not the case. What we are really big on is really building high quality brands who have great products, not things that just end up in the bin in 2 weeks, unless they're designed to, but products that are actually good for the planet, good for their environment, good for people. We're not interested in helping people sell crap, just because honestly, it's not very doable, to be honest. You need to build good quality brands and making sure that you pick products that actually have some sort of meaning to you in terms of either have authority or you have something that helps you stand out from the hundreds of other people trying to do the exact same thing. That's why we're so big on stock and your products, and we do have a bit of a framework on how we select good products, and we will touch on that a little bit today. But then the second bit is the story. So you have a product, but who are you? Who's your brand? Why should someone buy from you? This is exactly why your brand messaging, that's what we call brand messaging, is so important. And what that essentially is how we answer to who you are, what you do, and why people should spend their hard-earned money on you and not your competitors, and making sure that it's clear in words and actual phrases on your website, in your marketing, in your emails, in your anywhere you exist, even if you're at markets or you're in person, you have a brick and mortar, making sure that you're saying the right words everywhere you go. Because this is what actually creates a brand that allows you to connect with your audience, which means when eventually a Kmart comes along or a Temu who tries to ape your product and undercut your prices, they actually can't compete with you because they haven't built that same level of brand as you got. So that's brand and that brand story is super, super important, and we'll show you a little bit more about that today as well. Thirdly is a store, and this is probably the one that I think most people are already aware of coming into this. And this is simply your website. Is it built to convert? Does it have a very easy user experience that actually allows someone to land on your website, know they're in the right place, know how to navigate to the next section, how to actually easily buy from you and buy as much as possible in a seamless transaction? That's really what we nail with conversion rate optimization and making sure it does kind of mix in with that branding as well, how the website is built. But ultimately, what you want to build is what we call your 24/7 salesperson. So I'll give you this as an example for people who do really well at markets, but then fail to go online. They usually what they do is they upload what we call brochure websites, which just has the products, but all that really awesome feeling that they get from when they're in person buying from you in the markets doesn't quite exist there on the website. And these are those conversion elements, creating that 24/7 salesperson that is so important to, if you honestly, if you're a small Z brand, you don't have cash to burn, you need to make sure that you nail this first before the next bit in order to stay profitable, essentially, so we can gradually build the business month on month. So now you got your product, you got your brand messaging, you got a store that's ready to sell. Now, obviously, we need traffic. So we need a digital strategy. And our digital strategy process is essentially really nailing down what processes, mainly in marketing, but also in the business, need to happen month on month in order to see consistent growth in the business, but sustainable growth, which is also another key factor, making sure that we're staying on top of the growth that we have every single month and knowing what we're focusing on each month to do it. So this is basically the model that we teach. Now I'm gonna have Paul come back up, and this is the fun time where he gets to pick one or two of the websites that this lovely audience has shared, and we're gonna invite you. So when we pick one, we're gonna invite you to come off mute, make sure your webcam's on, give a bit of an introduction to the business, where it's at, and honestly where you want to go, and we're going to reverse engineer how to reach that goal of yours by going through these strategies here. So Paul, back to you. Have you picked a couple websites?
Yeah, I reckon the drinks one's an interesting one. So
The drinks one? What is that?
yeah, Revo drinkware, I think it is.
Yeah, who posted that? Let's get him to come off mute. I need a bit more info than that, Paul.
If Revo drinkware is still here,
Yeah,
I'm going
EY?
to
Is
share the
that you,
link.
Yes.
EY?
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes,
Gaia,
yes.
Yay, glad.
Go ahead.
here's your opportunity to pitch it to all of the internet because tomorrow your brand is going to be famous and it's going to be everywhere. I think I actually
Oh,
followed you
really?
the other day too or something. I think
Yes,
you
we
you
spoke to you.
followed me, I followed you. And I'm like, this is a
Yeah.
cool brand. So
Your thing is on camera.
Oh, sorry.
okay.
There's two of us in
No,
the
all
room.
good.
Yeah. We'll get
Yeah.
one of you to talk at once if that's okay. Because there's a
Okay,
weird
cool.
echo going on. So give us the pitch. Tell us all about the brand.
Okay, our elevator pitch. Okay, Revo Drinkware is a drink that you guys can use on a daily basis on the go. You can use it to mix your supplements, matcha, even coffee, or your protein. So it's just a hands-free, like hand frother. But you
Right.
press one button and it just mixes for you.
Concrete.
When did you start this? Why did you start this? So was it to solve your own problem or
So it tried to solve both of our problems. So my sister is a busy mum of two kids and she works full time. So she couldn't get her daily matcha in with the whole ritual of getting a bamboo whisk out and start stirring it in the
Yeah.
morning. But she wanted that, antioxidants from matcha.
Plus, I had all this matcha from Japan and it was expiring.
okay. Yeah. You can't have too much matcha, can you? I've got matcha everything at my house. Like ice cream and tea and drinks and love it. It's
And then
good.
for myself, I am like a fitness enthusiast and I like to take a range of supplements as well. So I like to take creatine, every now and then electrolytes, but protein pre-workout as well. So I just wanted something that was easy and convenient, as well as not having a smelly shaker all the time and a leaking one as well. So yes, this is how we came up with the idea. We had both some problems, but we could find a solution to both of our problems.
Yeah, I love it. Especially the smelly shaker thing, right? You go to gym and then you find a shaker in your car and you're like, oh God, I should have washed that 3 days ago. So get it. I've been to gym for a while, but I get it.
And
right.
we probably didn't answer the other question. We only started like a month ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We were trying to sell, but we had planned everything. So we did a lot of prototyping for around about. So we started like 8 months from like the very get-go when we came up with an idea.
But launched like a month ago. Like we were like, okay, we're ready.
We're ready.
Put it on the website.
Yeah. That's cool. Most people build a website and they go, I don't know what to sell, but they build a website and I go, okay, well, what's your story? What are you doing with the store? And they got no idea. So it's refreshing that you've done planning before you just went and launched into it. So, all right, let's get into this. So a few things. So I've drawn beautiful boxes and rectangles and stuff all over my screen. So for the purpose of this exercise, when someone lands on your website, now these are the boxes that they see, right, when they land here. So at the top, they've got the announcement bar here. This section here, where I've got my mouse there, that's where you should be putting what's called a H1 tag. This thing here is where you should be putting a H2 tag. This is where you should be putting all your trust statements. I know the way it is, you've got them down a bit further in the page and you've done a good start, but for everyone else on this call, most people do this wrong, right? And the reason they do this wrong is because they haven't gone through what we call a proper brand communication playbook. And the result of that is that they have a really good story for their brand. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to turn this off for a second, but you're going to see me refer to this system a lot tonight. So this is called the More Orders Command Center. The More Orders Command Center is like ChatGPT, it's like Claude on steroids, but I've been working on this for about a year or so now. It has hundreds of GPTs in there that are trained on how I and how Chris McLean and how all of the coaches in our community do marketing activities for people. So when I talk about marketing activities for people, I'm like, how do you write really good ads for meta ads? This system does that. How do you improve your average order value? This system does that. How do you organize your email flows? It does that. How do you negotiate with suppliers in China? It helps you do all of that, right? So as I go through it, I'll see how it does this and it does that and does all this cool stuff. So we're going to use one of the GPTs in here now, and we're actually going to go through this exercise together. And I'm going to show you how I would rewrite your H1 and your H2 and your trust statements on your site. So first thing I want to go into here is go to Browse Assistance. I'm going to go up to here and type headline generator. And I'm going to go into here. And I will say, like, the ladies have done a pretty good job already with what they're doing. But when we do this properly for brands, like, it can take us between 6 to 8 hours to do, because in order to properly communicate about your brand, you need to be really dialed in about the ideal customer avatar, who they are, what they do on the internet, like, you know, what they read, how old they are, all this kind of good stuff, right? And I might even give you a demo, like how deep we go into that. But at first, I'm going to do like a short version. So here's the homepage headline generator. Come over here. And again, all of you guys can do this as soon as you buy what we're going to talk about at the end of the call. Come in here and go, I need a new H1 and H2 and trust statements for this site. So one thing I'll say, when I say this is way better than ChatGPT, it's way better than ChatGPT because behind every one of these GPTs that I've made in here, there is massive prompts, right? A prompt is a lot of instructions that tells it how to think. It also tells it how to not think, because ChatGPT is going to give you what everyone calls AI slop, right? It's going to give you a really quick and dirty answer, and you'll go, oh, great, I feel smart, blah, 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 I've done a good job. 95% of the time when ChatGPT gives you that, it gives you a shitty response, but unfortunately, you're the only one that doesn't realize it's not a shitty response, but everyone else reads it and go, that doesn't look very good. Right? It's the same for everything, for your ads, for your emails, all that kind of thing. So let's do this. And I might ask you some questions as we go through it and see where we get to, because we'll do this as a real collaborative thing. And as I said, you've already done some of the stuff okay, but we're going to tweak it, because if I come back to your website for a moment, basically what you're trying to do is, as people come through and they read, where's that texter here? I'll get this one. That'll do. As they read this, in their head, you want the person to go, yes, 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 yes. When they read your H2, you want them to go, yes, 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 yes. When you read all this stuff down here, and you read all this stuff down here, and you read like stuff over here, and you read whatever's in the thing, the more yeses that you get when people are on this page, the more likely they are to scroll down, continue reading, and buy whatever it is you're selling. Because consumers are much like a toddler, right? The more times you get a toddler to go, hey, like, you know, eat your veggies, and they go, yes, mom, yes, 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 yes. By the end of it, they're going to eat them, and they're going to go, cool, I've done it. What's on to the next thing, right? So you need to think about every consumer who comes to your website exactly the same way. If you don't get them to say as many yeses as possible, they're not scrolling down, right? So it's the same way as if you stay up late at night and you watch the old guys on TV that are like trying to sell you Tupperware at 1 a.m. in the morning. Their whole script, their whole process is like getting you to go, yes, 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 yes. And before you know it, it's 2:30 in the morning and you've got some new steak knives and new cutlery and new set of Tupperware, and you've like probably got something else going on, right? So let's go back here and see what it's done. So I'm going to scroll to the top and I'm going to have a look here. So again, I've built this for like newbies, right? And even a lot of pros will use this, but so what do we have at the moment? We've got mix, sip, and go. No offense, obviously. Well, every bit of feedback I give you tonight, like, is not meant to, you know, be rude or insulting or anything, but like, not many people are sitting there going mix, sip, and go. I don't think. It's not a logical thing that they say in their head. Like this one, never shake your protein again. They probably are. Smooth protein, probably. Matcha, coffee, da-da-da. Supplements in second, probably. Self-stirring leaf root, probably. There's probably a few yeses. But let's see what this did. So the self-stirring cup for smooth powdered drinks. Okay, you read that and you go, yes, the self-serving cup for da-da-da. Go, potentially. If I go, and they're going to give you a few options. Smooth drinks without the shaker bottle hassle. There's another option. Press one to watch your powder mix smooth. There's another option. I actually had another one that I did over here too because I liked this one better. So what do we get to there? So smooth powdered drinks without the shaker. I think like people read that kind of thing and they go, yeah, or the self-serving cup for protein, matcha, and more. You're probably going to get like 3 yeses when you get into that, right? So again, I'm going to show you how we do this at a much more sophisticated level. But like immediately you go, yep, I want that. Because I would assume a lot of people don't even know such a product.
Thank you.
Can you mute whoever that is talking? It's Oliver. So as I was saying, because I would assume a lot of people don't know that self-stirring cups for protein even exist at the moment, right? Is there a lot of them on the market or?
There's not many around. There's only a very few on Amazon, but the quality is not very high at all.
Okay, right, yeah. So I would be leading with that then, right? And the reason I would also lead with that, because when we do this as well, like what you want to happen is you want to have a phrase in here that actually has what we call search volume in your Google. So you want to be using a phrase that people go to Google search every single month. And let's assume there is 2,000 people who actually search for that phrase. Then they see your thing or your organic result coming up in the Google search and they land on your website, right? So some people try to get really creative with their H1s and H2 and they completely leave out the most important thing is like the name of the product you're selling. So like, for example, Chris spoke about this brand before, Nature's Pantry Supplies, right? And you go, Australia's cleanest collagen and protein. Like that's a big claim and it's an accurate claim because it is one of the best cleanest proteins. But you go, hey, it actually says collagen and protein, right? And it says it in the H1 tag. So we need to incorporate that in there for you. Is this making sense so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would more so be leaning into like, oh, hang on, over here. Something like this, I reckon. And then your H2, what does your existing H2 say? It says, never shake your protein powder again. So people don't say that as a sentence, right? But they may say something more along the lines of, mix your daily powders in seconds with the magnetic, with it's premium stainless steel interior and it's easy on the go design, or one of these ones up here. It's a self-stirring stainless steel cup that mixes protein, matcha, collagen, coffee, and supplements at the touch of a button. That's even hitting a few more things. I don't think yours mentioned, I did mention coffee, but it's just kind of brought the sentence together a little bit, right? So again, just to repeat, like the waiters have done an okay job in this. We're just kind of elevated a bit more. So now if we come down to like the trust statements, and this is a huge thing that we've got in here. So now what I want to do is, can you give me, I'll get like 8 trust statements for this brand. Help me out here as well. Like, do you consider where do you think you sit in the, this kind of market? Like, are you at a Yeti kind of thing? Or are you like a Stanley Cup, or are you at something completely different? Is it fun? Is it playful? Is it sophisticated? What is it? Where do you sit in the market?
Mm.
You can say I don't know. If that's also acceptable.
We have a variety of audiences that we target. Okay. So we go, who is our market? We envision like a Pilates girly who drinks matcha daily. We think about like a mum as well who's busy on the go, thinking about her supplements and keeping her nutrients up to date. We think about the gym bros as well, who go to gym regularly and hate that like cheap plastic shakers. And we think about people who travel quite often, who want to maintain their supplements, their daily supplements. So that's a few of our audiences that we're aiming at.
But from a design perspective, I think we've gone for really quality. So I think if you were to compare to a brand, I'm not a Kmart. I'm probably trying to be a Stanley. if that kind of makes sense, because I'm not the cheapest, but we didn't want to compete on price. We wanted to compete on quality. We really did a lot of testing to make sure that the cup will last, because some of them broke pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably even like the entrepreneur market, right? It's the fit entrepreneur that goes to the gym, goes to their startup, like probably makes 200K a year, like, you know, then finishes, goes to Pilates, like that all encompassing. Like if you pick, like you said, the Pilates girly, I think that's what you said. You know, you go like, she does Pilates in the morning, she goes to work, you know, she goes to her corporate job, she does stuff on the weekend, she goes to Byron, you know what I mean? And then she's like, maybe she's also a mum and so forth. And you go, that's our audience. The reason I'm asking this is because that frames how you talk about this stuff. So let me show everyone this thing for a second, right? So again, what I'm using here in this thing is largely trained on a lot of the stuff that we do in this document. So when we do this for a one-to-one capacity for a brand that's doing, like any brand that's doing about 50K a month or something, we will do this with them one-to-one, even less. We got brands that are brand new. They come to us and they go, I just want to do it properly from day one. I said, we'll do this then, right? And then all of the things that we do is we go, hey, like, why are you in business, right? So we would ask you, ladies, why are you in business, right? And they go, what are your personal values? They go, we think you should sell really good quality products. We think you should be fit. We think you should do all this other stuff. And you go, great. What about the brand values? So you go, well, we hate Kmart. We don't mind the brand like Yeti. We don't mind, you know, we like this. We don't like that. That's our brand. And then these are the beliefs that this particular brand have. And you can see as I'm going through here, there's tons and tons of tabs, right? I won't go through all of them, but over time, we start to go, what are the characteristics of this entire brand? Right? And we go, oh, it's sophisticated and it's not like, you know, it's not overly luxe or anything, but it's premium and it's this and that. I go, great. And we continue going on because where we're trying to get to is we're trying to go, well, this person is Jenny Smith. Jenny's 35. She's a Pilates girl. She makes 120K a year. She's single at the moment. She buys all these things. She does all this stuff. She makes all this money, blah, 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 blah. And Jenny has these problems, right? So Jenny goes, like, I hate that my cup from the gym stinks and I hate that I have to stir it and I hate that I have to do all the other stuff. So you go, great, we build all of this into your brand messaging, right? And then ultimately you get to the end of this document and we go here and we go, hey, here is your new H1. Here is your new H2. Here is your new H3. Here is your new trust statements, right? Is this making sense so far?
Yes.
For everyone else? Cool. So I'm going to go back here for a second. So let's have a look here. So now these are probably a bit long, and they're probably a bit too feature driven, right? People don't buy. I'm getting dizzy watching Aaron Shepard do cartwheels or something. I can see his computer screen just spinning. So I don't know how to change the thing. So because people don't buy features, right? They buy feelings. So what we need to do is change these so they are more playful and they are also more feeling, status, outcome based. So when I talk about things like status, I mean most people who buy a Rolex watch because they want everyone to go, geez, that dude's got a Rolex. He must be rich. You know, that person drives a G-Wagon, must be rich. This person lives in this suburb, must be doing well. This person wears that activewear brand. They're attractive, right? So however, we got to get your brand where people go, oh, they use that. And then somehow it elevates their status and they feel better and they feel more important and blah, 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 blah. So let's have a look into these things. So these are more premium. The cup that keeps up with your routine, that's good. Smooth drinks, no clumps, no chaos. That sounds good. One touch mixing for busy people with standards. That sounds like a bit of a shot at people. So your protein, matcha, and supplement just got an upgrade. So I would be using not all of those, some of those as your new trust statements because I think they're more aspiring than like easy to clean. You know, people don't go searching for a product that, how much does this thing cost? Like nearly $70. And they go, the first thing they think of is it's not just that it's easy to clean or it's insulated, hands-free, absolutely odor resistant, but there is more things to them that matter than these statements at the time. And the reason I'm going so hard on these particular topics and so deep on them as well is because you want to really make your brand stand out from all the other drinkware brands on the market, right? They're all out there saying it's insulated, it's stainless steel, it is ethically sourced, it is Chris McQueen, jump in here if you've got any other random things that people like, it's curated from this country, blah, 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 whatever, right? So all of those kind of statements, you go, we're not them, right? This makes sense so far?
Yeah.
Any questions about this?
Do you find like, because some of the things that was generated as a H1 and H2, they were quite long. Do you find that audiences just short read things?
No. If someone's going to come and buy a $67 product, the spin your shakes and stuff, if you want them to read as much as possible so that you qualify them more. And two things that are going to happen. So, and I didn't touch on this earlier. So whatever we put on your website, in your H1, in your H2, in your trust statements, all over your site, it's the same stuff that needs to go into your ads. So, because you need congruency between what you say in your ads and what you say on your site. And 99% of the time, what you're going to say the exact same thing in your ad, in your hooks, because then they've already read and already seen, already heard you say the things. So by the time they land on your website, they see it again. They don't even need to read it. They just scroll past it. Right. But if you don't say it in both, then that also causes big conversion issues. All right. And I can't stress this enough for everybody. The reason we do this brand strategy process for everybody is because at the end of it, you get like this massive document, like 40 pages. And every time you use a meta ads person, a Google ads person, a search engine optimization person, an email marketing person, you go to an event, you go to a trade show, you say the same stuff all the time everywhere. And because you say the same stuff all the time everywhere, and because you're using the method that I'm going to teach you when you join our community to do this, your conversion rate will be like 100 times better, right? It's the reason most brands who sell things at markets do incredibly well, because they know how to talk about what they do with the market, but they can't translate it when it comes back to doing it on their website. So people see, say, for example, Paul at this guy. Hang on, let's go back here. So is Paul on the website, Chris? I think he is down the bottom. This bloke, right? Greatest talker that you ever meet. You talk to him, he like loves a yap. You walk past him at the market, you'll buy 3 bags of protein and a shaker and all the stuff. But like when we met him, I go, Paul, none of the words are on your website. It's like, oh, okay. So we took how he spoke, right? Made it better, put it all in the right places. And you're like, hey, now my website sells to me whilst I'm asleep. And I don't need to do, well, they still do markets, but they do way less markets now, right? So in my opinion, small brands, like 99% of the brands on this call, need more words, right? You're not Nike, where you're cool and you can just say, Nike, just do it, or McDonald's, where whatever the hell they say, or all the other places that are $1 billion companies, and everyone, you buy Nikes because you're going to run faster and you're going to like whatever you're going to do, right? So, but for you guys, more words is always better.
Okay.
We'll do another bit. So it doesn't look like you have, not that I can see it at the moment. You don't have like a unique selling proposition on the site at the moment. So a unique selling proposition is basically a bit of text that's like 100 words long, and it would kind of sit down here, right? And I'm going to do it for you. So let's go back in here. That is, well, and I'll say one thing, right? When I say, you can see me talking just consecutively into the same thing. Like I can do that because I've programmed it to do it for me. But for you guys, all you need to do, you come over into, let's grab a different one. We'll get any of them. You come in here and you go, hey, like, here's all the cool things that I can work on. I can go and spy on my competitors. I can go and like generate my new product names. I can do my product descriptions. I can like do my brand playbook. I can figure out who my audience is. I can figure out how to make more profit. I can figure out how to do cash flow. All of these things sit inside of this system, right? How to deal with annoying customers, how to deal with negative reviews, how to write ads. Like there's hundreds and hundreds of things in here, and there's like more every week. But I'm doing it here because I know how to do it. But you guys can just go in there and go, hey, I need to write a USP. Like, help me do it. So let's do this anyway. Chris, if you got anything you want to add in, feel free. Watch it. Just give my voice a break so it doesn't disintegrate like last week. See how we go.
Not particularly, mate. This thing is covering it pretty.
It's good. All right.
You will.
There you go. So, well, let me read this out. So, Revo is a self-stirring cup for people who want their daily drinks to feel as good as they look, whether it's a protein after the gym, matcha before Pilates, coffee between meetings or appointments on the move. Revo mixes powders at the touch of a button so you can skip the clumps, the mess, and the shaker bottle vibe. With a premium stainless steel interior, leak-proof design, and USB-C rechargeability, it's made for your gym bags, work totes, prams, and carry-ons. Smooth drinks, cleaner routines, and a cup you actually want to be seen with, backed by a 12-month warranty. So again, that's just another sentence people read. And I don't know about you, I read that and I'm like, there's like 9 yeses in that thing for me. I'm like, it's USB rechargeable. Like I can, it mixes everything. I can take it to the gym, blah, 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 blah. So, and if we wanted to take this even to another level, again, we have a thing in here, which is a weapon for most people. Is actually called a VSL generator. And I might not do it now, but again, as I spoke about before, when I spoke about, all the people who sell stuff on the TV late at night, what this thing will do, it will write you a full, what's called a video sales letter, right? So it takes inspiration from the world's greatest copywriters of all time, right? I think I'm pretty good at copywriting, but I'm talking like the greats, the OGs in the space, right? And it will ask you like 70 questions. At the end of it, it will spit out a script and you'll sound just as good as those people on TV, and you'll have it done within like 20 minutes, right? 10 minutes if you're fast, right? And our top brands in the community at the moment are using this thing. Some of them are using this to use one ad, and they only run that one ad and it's crushing it for them in the meta ads. The reason I'm saying this again to you is because down here, you should have like, are you just friends or sisters, or what's the relationship there? Sisters, yeah. So you should have like down here, hey, we're the sisters that started the brand. Read the script. People read the script and they go, great. I'm ready to buy everything, right? Because it's so persuasive and it's so powerful. And every single person on this call should have a VSL for their business, right? Absolute game changer. So
you're not recommending an About Us page, but you're recommending a VSL kind of video style going, this is why we created Revo Cup.
Well, you can do both. This can also go on your About Us page.
Okay, touch the point here, Paul. So like within a About Us page, so the thing here is there that you're now you're relying on people to find that, click it, read it, and then learn and then go back. Whereas on the home page, if you build it into that experience, it's just going to be part of the experience they go through. So it's enforcing the trust building.
Do you think it's going to be too long? Or like you're prioritizing, okay, this H1, H2 is the first thing that like is a big statement. So you build the audience's curiosity and then you're slowly giving them more detail, like yes, giving them more yeses to purchase product.
100%, yeah. So every e-commerce site, like your site is not long enough at the moment by any means, right? So you should have like
it's been shortened down a lot by this one.
It's too short.
It's simple.
Yeah. So there's a thing called a long form sale page, right? The greatest converting pages on every single website is what's called a long form sales page. The longer it is, right? If you can hold people's attention all the way to the bottom, they'll buy whatever the hell it is that you're selling, right? In like the information space and the coaching space, for example, some people's pages can be like 7,000-8,000 words long, right? It's because the whole reason is that page does all of the heavy lifting for you. So it's like H1, H2, trust statements, USP, like case studies, like benefits, outcomes, status approval, objection handling, everything that a consumer thinks about in their head as to why they won't buy your product, your page solves that.
Okay.
Right? So
I guess some of the pages I've tried to view, like big brands and even small brands, I find that the longer it is, the more overwhelming it is. That was just my viewpoint.
That's a you thing. Trust me when I say that's
just a you thing. Okay,
it's a you thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to think. I can say with hand on heart, and having done this since I was like 3, right? Like the longer the pages are, the better they're going to convert. Like unless you waffle on and it's just
not
rubbish.
For waffle, yes. I wanted to
You wouldn't just write like you wouldn't put War and Peace on your homepage and just go, hope everyone reads it and gets to the end. It needs to serve a purpose, right? So every single sentence needs to get to the end of the sentence, and people need to read the next sentence and the next sentence and the next. Like, there's literally a whole psychology around all of this where they go, "Oh, I can't stop reading." It's like a good book, right? For everyone on the call that's read, I don't know, like bloody Harry Potter or those big best-selling books. There's so much science and shit the way they write those books that you get to the end and go, "I have to read the next sentence." Your website needs to do the same thing, right? And most of all, it has to handle all of the objections, which is going to lead to the next part of this call, where that's a fair bit on brand strategy. Now what we're going to look at is actually your product page. So we come back over here. And I'm going to blast through this because I like to do someone else. I'll spend a long time on this one, but you're doing a lot right. Again, so you got reviews, you've got the product, you don't have what we call a short description. You don't have a lot of reviews. I get it. You're brand new. I can't see any information about shipping. I can't see any information about returns. Probably all hidden. The reason I'm saying this is because when we build websites for brands, or when everyone who's on this call tonight will probably end up buying what we call our store converter kit, a product page like this has probably 100 things on it that assist with conversion rate optimization, right? I'm going to give you a quick demo, but if I go to this sheet, I share this and I show you. So when we build a website and I go, "Hey, here's a homepage on someone's, like, this is literally our checklist in our agency. Feel free to take a screenshot for this because this is all you're going to see. I'm going to blast through the rest of it. But like, all of these things in here need to go on a homepage for it to convert. All of these things, right, need to go on a product page for it to convert. All of these things need to go onto the cart page for it to convert. Even to the point that when you put images on your homepage, this is an image optimization checklist that we use for 7 and 8 figure brands. There is, if I look at this thing, there's probably, I don't know, 125 checkpoints that we go through, right? So what I'm trying to get across here is the fact that as I look at every single part on this page from an element perspective, and these things are elements like reviews and the name and the short description and if the more of them that you have, the better this page will convert, right? So it'll be a difference between a 2% conversion rate and a 3 or 4 or 5 or a 6, right? So huge. So again, coming back to the command center, this thing is literally a cheat code for all of you. You can come into here and you go back here and you can go click on Ask Assistant Finder, right? And you come in here and you go, "I need to improve my conversion rate." Oh, I can't type. Can you help? So what this is going to do, it is going to go and find probably like 7 or 8 different things that you can use to help improve your conversion rate. I'm going to show ones that I've already found on your site anyway. So there you go. Product page forensic, product page rebuilder, there's a few. I already run this one for you over here. Where is it? This one. So let's do this exercise as fast as I can do it because I want to help some other people. But I put your product page into this tool and I'm like, here is the top 20 things that you need to fix. So there's an issue relating to your shipping. There is an issue relating to explaining why it costs that much. There is an issue relating to, what's another one? Social proof is too thin. You can't fix that at the moment. Obviously, you only have 3 reviews. Return policies, there's a mismatch. I won't go through all of them, but like here is 20. You can come through to this thing and you go, give it the next 50, right? And it'll find them all. And you go, okay, I've got to go and put all of those things on my product page. And then I know when I come to run ads to that product page, it's going to convert 100 times better, right? And if you don't want to use that, you can just go over here, right? And inside of this system, you come here and you go, oh, okay, here is the product page of my website. And you tick them all off, right? All of these things in there and you go, great, I've got everything that Paul tells me to do on the product page. And again, for those of you that got a website and you go, oh God, some of you already have a website and you go, I can't do any of this stuff because you're using a theme that sucks and you can't do it. Some of you go, I don't have a website at all, right? And you go, cool. So when Chris and I talk about a thing called the Converter Kit, which is a high converting Shopify theme, it has all of this stuff in it already. So you don't need to worry about it, right? So does this make sense so far?
So you're saying you've got like a theme embedded in Shopify that's structured the way that you want it to be structured to make a high turnover?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. We call it the store converter kit. We'll talk a bit about what that is later for everyone as well. So I'll have another, well, I just want to round this out. So I do want to say though, and Chris will agree with me on this. We see a lot of brands on here, and I'm like, oh my god, this brand's terrible, but they've like, done nothing wrong, like nothing right. Like you've had an awesome crack so far. You should commend yourself, and the 8 months of research that you've both done is fantastic. Everyone could clap for you if they all want to come off mute.
Don't
You have
need
done
to
a
clap,
cracking
but
job.
I think like the best businesses that we seem to work with to get the best results, they do come from someone who it solves a problem for them, or like they're in the niche, they understand the industry and they like the product already. There's always the best brands to build with, just because you know
Mm.
so much about it innately already.
Yeah, it's also the brands like yours are also the best brands for us to work with too, because you have a product, right? And I think this is a fantastic product. I think your branding is cool. I think you've obviously given this a lot of thought, but like your homepage, your product page, your collection page, your cart page, you're just missing some of the basic stuff that needs to go in there to really make this thing like convert like fire, right? It's the same reason when I met Liz from Industrial Shed, and I had a chat with her. I'm like, mate, your website's crap. Go, let's just fix your homepage, product checkout, da 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 da. And that's why she's doing what she's doing. Same with Nature's Pantry. Same with brands that I do like 700 grand a month and more now, right? It's the biggest unlock. If you dial in your story, which I've very loosely spoken about and showed you part of it tonight, and if you dial in how your site converts and then you go make it into a good strategy, it is the biggest thing that you can fix in your business, no matter what level you're at, right? Because I'll do this exercise. So, and I'll say that I'm terrible at maths. So bear with me. And you're brand new. So this may not work perfectly, but let's grab some numbers. So 63 bucks. All right. So I'm working with a brand and they get 15,000 visitors to their website at the month. At the moment, they don't really, but let's pretend they do. Their conversion rate is 1.2%. Their average order value is $63. Can you tell me how much money this brand makes at the moment per month? I think everyone knows how to use ChatGPT by now. Like
Graham's asking to be sent all the things he must do. We will talk about that right after this.
yeah, at there. Yeah. So $11,000 is how much money this business will be making. All right. Now, let's assume though that the ladies actually got their conversion rate to 3.2%, and they got their average order value to $120. So they were getting 2 sales of this product in every order instead of that. How much more money would this brand now make monthly? And how much more money would this brand make over the course of 1 year? How much money would they make over the course of 2 years? And put this into just columns for me so that I can demonstrate it. So everyone's seeing what I did there? I only fixed 2 numbers, right? I fixed your conversion rate and I fixed your average order value. Average order value is how much people buy on average. So you can see the difference here. So current store, 15,000, optimized store, 15,000, conversion rate 1.2, 3.2, blah, blah, blah. Now you got 180 orders a month versus 480 orders a month. So the difference, year 2 revenue is $1.3 million in the new business versus $272,000 for the same business if you leave it as is, right? So I speak to so many brands and they never do anything about fixing their website, and they just plod along for year after year going, I did 100 grand last year and 100 grand next year and 100. Like you left $1 million on the table because you didn't fix this, right? And this is small. Like if I did this for a brand that I'm working with a brand at the moment and they have 30,000 people in their email database and their website gets 100,000 visitors a month, and they spend so much money on ads and their conversion rate is 0.9% or something. And I'm like, we get your site to like 3%. Your business is doing like 700, 800 grand.
And your internet just died, Paul. But you make a fair point.
Oh, did we lose him?
Move a couple. His internet's just
I
died.
thought he was doing dramatic pause.
Just as making his mic drop moment. But yeah, you make a good point there. That these are the things that we look at moving when you dial in the things that Paul was talking about earlier. These are the numbers that move in the business. So you just died there for a second, Paul. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right. Oh, good. You go. Hopefully I don't die again. Where did it stop? What bit did it break at?
Yeah, you're basically just saying that these are the numbers that really move the business forward. And when you fix the stuff that we talked about earlier, these are the things that happen inside a business.
Yeah.
And whatever scale you're at, fixing these things moves these numbers, and these are the real levers inside every ecom business that we try to move, rather than trying to focus on anything else. Like, get these things right, and these are the types of results that you can start to see in the business.
Because I'll tell you what will happen, and I speak to a lot of people who go on this journey. They get very frustrated and they look for someone to save them, right? Because I've put a lot of effort into my business and it's going shit. And they go, I'm going to go try and find someone to rescue me. And the people that will try and rescue you will be like a Meta ads person or a Google ads person or an SEO person or an email marketing person. And they'll go, yeah, cool. Commit to like a 6-month contract with me and I'll run your ads and everything will be great, right? And they don't look at your website and they don't fix your story and they don't fix your stock. 6 months later, you paid them $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 a month, and you're sitting in the same location, right? Because they haven't fixed the foundations. It's the same as if like you had a retail shop and inside the retail shop, you had an amazing experience. You had like 3 ladies that worked in there and they were lovely and your product was lovely and your pricing was great and everything was amazing. But outside the shop of your beautiful toy shop was a black wall and the windows were closed and you didn't have a sign out the front and didn't say come in and, you know, speak to Paula and go and speak to Marianne and and like, we're going to look after you, and people just walk straight past you. So really important that you get all this stuff done. How are we tracking for time, Chris and Chris, to do this for another person? You pick a brand. Let's go again. Why not? Hopefully that's been helpful to the Revo ladies if they're still here.
Yes, thank you.
Thinking
Chris?
maybe, yeah. I'm thinking maybe one, like we said, we'll do one that's a bit more of a beginner business and maybe one that's kind of more in the grow up phase. And we did have a couple, I think, Yvonne, Richard, Lance, Witchy. I think you mentioned you guys were in that space. Are either of you open to us getting your website up if you have one and doing this as well? Otherwise, we'll pick another one from the list.
Yeah, give me a good brand. Give me a bigger brand, like not a little one. We can. And come off mute if you can, if that too.
Yeah, we'll just see if they get back to us. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and pick another one. Yes.
Let's go back to the top and have a look. What's Alpha? Aaron.
No, don't open that one. Don't open that.
Okay. All right. What's that one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know what that one is actually.
Yes. Would you like to share a link again to your website for us to open up? Just make it easy. There's a lot of chat to go through.
Alpha One's a great brand. They're doing a lot of things right, but yeah, we'll get banned on YouTube if we bring that one up.
We did that. Yeah, I did look at that site. Yes, and now
that makes me so happy to hear that, guys. Thank you so much. Because we are anyway.
About a year.
We'll talk tomorrow.
About a year and a half ago, Aaron, I did this exact same session and we did 3 of these. Yeah. I'll share with everyone else. Anyway, for those that are wondering what's going on, Aaron sells adult toys, right? So anyway, we're all adults here, but I did the live stream. I posted the live stream to the Shopify Australia community after I'd done it. I thought it was the best one of the workshops I've ever done. And then Facebook banned my account for a week and then turned it off and it said, you're sharing adult products on the internet, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like,
we'll do it in our, We'll do it in our hookup tomorrow, but I really appreciate the kind words you just said in front of everyone. So thank you very much.
No worries.
No worries. All right, we got
the Crystal Witch. This one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, which you said you're in the grow up phase. Is that correct?
So my camera won't come on.
Are you talking to me? Sorry.
I've just had a rebrand.
Gotcha. What kind of revenue are you doing at the moment, Witchy, if you don't mind me asking?
Is it this one?
Did I lose you? Yeah, that's me. I was Dragonfly Angels, and now I'm the Ethereal Crystal Witch. And I'm a mixture between product and service based, as you'll see. But I felt like my name didn't really tell people what I did, but the Crystal Ethereal Witch is a little bit more to what I do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I think I've become the brand, which I never thought I was going to do that, but
it's good. I think strong founders should be the brand as well. Like you should have a personal brand and a business brand. In 2026, absolutely critical. Like example, like tea leaf reader, isn't it, Chris, or Karen's?
Yeah,
tea leaf with Karen.
Oh, hang on, I opened up a wrong tab there.
Tea with Karen as well. Yeah.
This one. So, for example, this is an amazing Karen that's in our community in this similar space to you, right? She's tea leaf reader. Like,
Yep.
this is her website. And no, so here's her H1 tag. Here's her H2 tag. Here is her trust statements. Here is her story. Here is the lovely Karen, nicest lady that you ever met. Here is everything else is going on in this website. You go to her product pages, they're amazing. Like, this is exactly the same stuff that you need to do on your site as you continue to rebrand.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Like, you've probably seen what I just did with the other brand now as well. So
yeah, and it
probably
made
take
me
a lot
want
of inspiration.
Made me want to run over and go, what does mine look like now?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Just what we're going to talk about in a minute, and we might cut to that in a second, is like you need exactly what we're going to talk about. So we might jump to there, Chris, I reckon. What do you think?
Yeah, happy to get towards the end here.
Yeah, cool. So
I'll go ahead and share my screen again. And thank you everybody for being so patient. We've still got, I think, just about 40 people here with us, which is awesome. I'm hoping that everyone's really got a lot out of today. And again, if you have questions and everything, please don't hesitate to leave them in the chat below, and we're trying to get through them throughout the session. But I do have a couple questions to ask everybody. I want us to be very kind of vulnerable is a word I like to use, but I'm going to ask you quickly now whether you're somebody who has just started their business, or you're kind of thinking, how confident am I in doing this, or you're somebody who is already you're actually running a business. I want you to rate yourself quickly, and we're going to share our results in chat, and I'm going to have a look at all your answers. But basically, there's actually 4 pillars. We've only included 3 here, but there is 4. So it's product, store, story, and strategy. I want you all to kind of rate yourself on a green, yellow, and red on each of these, just to get really clear on where do we feel like we are right now in our confidence to tackle each of these. So if you're red in something, it means it's not very good, or you're not very confident and you need help with it ASAP. If it's yellow, it means it's okay, could use improvements. And if it's really good already, then it's green. So I'm going to give everyone about a minute or so to get your answers in, and I'll just go through and see where everyone is at. I've seen already Paul B has shared his red, red, red. Allison's red for everything. So everyone share that for yourself. Again, if you haven't got a business yet, do this based on your confidence to tackle this moving forward. If you haven't got a business, I want you to kind of grade where are you at on these things right now with your business. All red, 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 red. More red, green, yellow, yellow. Paula, awesome. Awesome. I feel red. Richard, yellow, green, red. Lovely. Angelo, I'm not sure. That's okay. Sometimes you feel you're not sure. That's completely normal too. Awesome. Like a lot of reds. Yeah, and that's completely fine, guys. Like, so again, I'm asking people to be vulnerable, not because I want to point out how like you're struggling. It's because when you're trying to figure out what your next steps are, it's so important to actually grade where are you right now, because then you can fill in the gaps to where you want to be. And it's a big process we actually do with everyone who joins our community. We have what we call a scorecard call, where we push everyone through this process. So every month we know where are we right now and what do we need to improve. Can I pick Amber for all in between? Sure, Aaron, if you'd like to go that like direct. Sure, Amber is good too.
That was my wife. My wife's operating my phone.
No worries. No worries. What was your name? Sorry.
Amanda.
Amanda. Yes, Amanda. Yes, of course, Amanda. Yes, lovely. Thank you for that.
She'll be with us tomorrow, Chris.
Perfect. Look forward to meeting. Know where I am, what I should get. All right, perfect. Well, thank you everybody for kind of engaging that, and it's good to see that we can all be honest and really point out where our weak spots. And I do have another question for you after this, and that is to ask you if we were to able to help you get each of those, well, really 4 things to a green for each. So you have a product that's of good quality, you have a store that's built to convert, you have brand messaging that's very clear and sets you apart from the competition, and you have a digital strategy on how you're going to grow this business. If all 4 of those were at a green, do you believe that you could make e-commerce work for yourself? Do you believe that you could build a business that you've been really desiring for a while? And if you're already running one, do you feel like this would help you to scale the business? Oh, hell yeah, from Paul. Yeah. Yes. I appreciate this. Currently a big e-commerce store looking to change and currently researching. No worries, Lance. Maybe we should catch up afterwards to get some more details there. Yes, from Richie. Yes, Richard. I hope so. Simon. Yes. Yes, well, I hope so. Not really, Andrew. No problem at all, mate. Marianne, Mick, yes, perfect. Okay, lovely. Well, I appreciate all the yeses. Over 1,000 different product. That's okay, Yvonne. some businesses have 1,000 products, some have one. It's still these things still apply. So thanks everyone for engaging in that. And the reason I ask is because for those of you who said yes, I absolutely agree, to be honest, because this is specifically what we help brands really nail inside the e-commerce circle. And to be really frank with you, 90% of most e-commerce of most 90% of e-commerce businesses in Australia die within the first 12 months. And the reason why is typically because they do not nail these things. These are the big roadblocks they don't overcome. They don't have a site that's built to convert, so they can't actually, be profitable in the money they spend. They have a very unclear brand message. There's nothing differentiating themselves. And really, they just don't have an actual strategy. That is, we continue down the path of I don't know what I don't know. And it's not to say that if it's so simple, you just fix these things and boom, you now got $1 million business. No, it's not that simple. We don't sell dreams here. Like the reality is there is a lot and a lot of hard work that goes into this, and there's no skipping building those foundations. So again, we don't sell dreams, but what we are very big on is we get people around us who they already know, they're already really passionate, like I mentioned at the start in wanting to build an e-commerce brand that's going to really help them build their lifestyle. And our whole thing here, our mantra, we want to help 10,000 Aussies to build the brand, the businesses of their dreams, to build the lives that they really love with this business. And for us to do that, it just really requires hard work. And what we do is we don't want to give you homework, but we say, give us the time that you have, give us the effort, and what we do is we provide you the guardrails on what has worked for all the other brands that we've worked with. So let us help you with the brand messaging. Let us create that high converting website and help you really nail that plan so you know exactly what you're doing month after month. And that'll take us into what our offer is tonight, Paul, if you want to.
Yeah, sure. No worries. All right. So what we're going to do is there's two different types of people who are on the audience tonight. Right. So those of you that are already, above 20K, above 50K, above that kind of thing, my team are going to drop a link into the chat box now, and what you'll be able to do, you'll be able to actually book a call with our team tomorrow. So you'll be probably chatting to Chris.
I think a few of us already are speaking and already speaking tomorrow. So if that's one of you, you're already doing the right thing. Perfect. But yeah, any other brand in that situation, I think Julian or Chris will leave a link. Go ahead, book a time that works for you there.
Yeah, it can also be next week. Chris is off on holiday on Friday, so don't book on Friday so that he can enjoy his weekend away. For the rest of you, stick with us. We're going to go through some cool stuff here. So I'll get Chris to go. Chris can run through the slides. I'll try and do this.
Sorry, yes.
So now the biggest thing that we speak about all the time is not like just knowing all the pieces that you need to do. It's actually doing it in the right order, right? So, and trying to do it alone is the hardest bit, and I realize that most of you probably hit, the parents on the call anyway, you hit 9 p.m. at night time and you're like, the kids are going to sleep and I'll try and figure it out. So I'll go binge another course. I'll go find another guru and I will, try all those different spray and pray strategies and none of it work, right? So what we have done is we have put together a map on how that we can do, go to the next slide, Chris, all of this for you. Next one again. So I'm excited to announce. So what we're doing is we're launching what we're calling the side hustle to the serious store challenge. So again, I realize that a lot of you probably are doing this as your side hustle, right? Until you can actually make it into a serious business. So I'm going to go through how all of this works, but the goal with this over the next 12 weeks of working with us, you're going to have a store that is taking orders. It's live. It's built to convert properly. You're going to have access to a room of amazing coaches where you're learning how to do all of this stuff, like fix your brand messaging, fix your story, run your ads, do all that kind of stuff. And you're going to have help doing that every day. So I'm going to go through what the cadence of the weeks looks like, Chris, and I'm going to go show you, to get clear on all of this. So first thing, again, I realize a lot of you may not be 100% dialed in on your product yet, right? So some of you are, some of you aren't. So we spend the first 2 weeks actually making sure that we are selling the right product, right? Selling at the right price, selling at the right, to the right audience, sourcing the product from the right location, all of that stuff that matters, right? Even if those of you that are already doing very well here, we just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Secondary is week 2 to 3. We want to make sure that you are actually saying the right things. So the stuff that I just helped with the ladies with briefly, we spent a couple of weeks actually dialing that in properly. You spend a lot of your time with Chris McQueen, who's on the call, the guy with the beret and the guy with the greatest mustache that you've ever seen. And he helps you make sure that you've got a really, really good story, right? Really important, because you're going to take that story, you're going to put that story in your ads or in your emails and everything, right? Next thing that we're going to work on, and when I put the timeline on this, I say 5 to 6 weeks, there's nothing stopping you starting working on this tomorrow with us, right? But this is how we're going to roll it out. So by week 5, by week 6, excuse me, you will have a store that's built to convert, dialed in the right order, saying the right stuff, doing the right thing. You've got your bundles installed, you've got your AOV high, you've got your email flows set up, everything you need. And you're no longer messing around with like the theme that you've got from the Shopify store that you thought was great, because everyone else bought that same theme. And unfortunately, it's not very good. All right. Lastly, and when I say lastly, this is just the start of your journey with us, right? We want to be working with you for the next 5 years, but this is your first 12 weeks with us. So then we come along, we start going, hey, cool. Now what are we doing from a strategy perspective? So we start looking at what happens if we start spending a couple of bucks a day on meta ads or Google ads or anything like this. So we take your story and then we start putting it into all of your ads and go, hey, let's send some paid traffic to your website so that you can put money into a paid ad strategy and you can get some traffic coming to your site and you can make sales consistently, rather than just posting stuff on the internet and posting to your social media and no one ever sees anything, right? Because who's doing that at the moment? I imagine a lot of you are probably already doing that. Give us a yes or something if you want, if you can. Chris, next.
Yep.
So here's what we're going to do. So we're releasing this now, obviously. I'm going to give you a bit of a walkthrough about what happened. So when you actually join with us today and when you start together tomorrow, we already do, Chris, it'd be like 9 calls a week, I think, at the moment in the community. Yeah, call it 9 calls. So we do like a meta ads call, a Google call, an SEO call, an email call, a brand call, a community call. There is the 400 people in the community. We get like 30 to 40 people on every single call, every single day, just like this thing, right? You guys, so when you grab this thing, you get in and you get that tomorrow. You get access to our full courses library. Like you get access to that tomorrow. There is a course on how to run ads. There is a course on picking the perfect product. It goes for like 2 hours and I teach people how to pick the perfect product. And even if you've already got a product, it helps you make sure that it is the right product. If for some reason that you go through that and you're still uncertain, you can then go to the command center, which I've shown everyone tonight. And there is another thing in the command center that says, have I got the perfect product, right? So now, as I'm talking about the community as well, so we run the community on a system called Slack. So I might demo Slack at the end of this thing just to show everybody what it looks like. But there is tons of channels in there. You ask a question, you get an answer in minutes, right? From us, from the other community members, from everybody. You have full access to the command center and everything in there. So now I'll go to the next one for me, Chris, if you can. Yep. So I think this is the cool, and I think this is an exciting bit of it. I assume people have joined other challenges before, weight loss challenges and things like that. You win a trophy or whatever. But one thing that we want to do, actually go to the next one. Chris already covered that. So I'll go through to this first, sorry. So okay, cool. Yeah, here is all the amazing coaches that are inside of our community. So I'm going to go through this just quickly. So I'm head coach. Obviously, Chris McQueen is our other coach in the community. You can see all of the amazing people in there. So for context, you see a guy in there like Shane Thompson. Shane Thompson has worked at brands like Asahi Beers. He worked at Chris McQueen, like Rip Curl and other brands like that, right? He's one of the guys that actually came up with like the Movember campaign. So these coaches are heavy hitters in our community. Like Lockie Thompson in there is I don't even know how much he's spending monthly on meta ads. It's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for all of our clients in the community. Like he's one of the guys that's growing brands from nothing to these juggernauts. Same with Sophie. Emma, my wife, is in there. She's the one that makes our 100 websites a year. All the other people in there, like Andrew Petty, for example, he did a coaching call this morning where he shared, probably went for an hour and a half, and he told everyone all the secrets on how to get the cheapest shipping rates that you can get in Australia, and also manage your shipping and delivering your fulfillment way quicker, like with what he shared on the call. So all of these guys are in the community, are all supporting you in there. So next, Chris. So as I spoke about before, and I got lost in my slides. As you can see, I'm like better at ecom than I'm presenting. So thanks for sticking with me. So I want to make this fun for everybody. And at the end of the 12 weeks, we're actually going to give away a prize. I'm not sure what the prize is, probably a monetary thing, but we want to go who made the best store during their time with us in the next 12 weeks? Who came up with the best story for their brand? Who came up with the overall best strategy? Who's grown the most? Who, I think this one's a really, really exciting one. Who had the biggest comeback? Like something that I'm super proud of with what our community can do is we meet a lot of people that are just like at the end of the road with their ecom business and they're ready to chuck in the towel. They're like, I've had enough. This is like hard. I've been at it for years and like, I'm going to give up. And they go, I wish I had met you earlier. So the biggest comeback one, I think, is going to be cool because we're going to take a brand that's like limping along and near death and turn it into something amazing. So that'll be really cool. Best day will be amazing for someone. And, you know, I think another one would be best team player. I'm sure everyone would like to get in there and be like, yeah, I want to help everybody. There's always that one person that joins community and needs the most amount of help, but they help everyone else above themselves. So we're going to do this. I think this is going to be really cool. So next, Chris. So people are going to ask, who is this for? So this is for people like Chris spoke about previously, for people like Jade from pelvic floor, loss of pelvic health, whatever it was that you said, Chris. So when we met Jade, and like, again, like a lot of this inspiration came from Jade. She didn't have a store. She didn't have a story. She didn't have the command center. She didn't have access to a community.
She didn't have a product.
Jade,
no product.
She didn't have a product. Yeah, right. So she's a mum. She's busy. She's doing this at midnight. She had another business. So Jade's got the converter kit. She's got the command center. She's got the community. She actually still doesn't go to calls, right? She watches the call recordings. She engages in the community. She's like a silent assassin that is just going about her thing, doing her business, and like it's amazing, right? So this is 100% for people just like her. It's also for brands that like have got a store and it sucks, right? They're in other communities and they're crap. It's for people that are like hacking away at ChatGPT and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So
really, next one, Chris. Really for anyone who wants to do their first 5, 10, 20K month in the next couple months. Like that's really who it's for in the end.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yep.
You just muted yourself.
I just muted myself accidentally. I don't know, it just does it randomly. So anyway, so this is for, I'm going to go who this isn't for, right? So if you're the kind of person that wants to be rich by next Tuesday because you watched a YouTube video and it went for 10 minutes and they promised you that you'd be rich by next Tuesday by selling rubbish that you found at Alibaba, this is not for you, right? If you want someone to build all of this for you, like all of it for you, this is not for you. This is where you'll go to a call with Chris Vallado from our team and we'll go, hey, we can build it all for you. This is 100% not for the kind of person that just buys more and more courses and this joins this and never finishes anything, right? We call that infobesity. Like you buy more stuff and you never do anything with it, right? Now, I don't mind if people don't show up to all the calls, but come to some of the calls, right? It's because what we ask of you, like just come to a few hours per week. We want you to come and be open with your numbers, even if they're ugly, even if you're like, I'm not selling anything.
We want to help people accountable. That's a massive thing.
100%.
Yeah. Like walking you through the process.
We want people that are coachable, right? We want people that go, cool, I get on the call and everyone on the call that we work with, we're always super polite about it. We're like, you need to go and take what we do, listen to what we do, come back and go, I did it. Even if you didn't do it amazing, you go, cool, we'll just keep chipping away at it, right? So now I'm going to go to the next slide in a minute and I'm going to talk about all of it. So I want to recap on everything that we're going to do here with this offer tonight. So again, like we go and we install the store converter kit on your Shopify site for you. We give you full access to our community for the entire year, right? So we're calling this the 12-week challenge because we want to make sure that like ideally all of you are up and running and rocking and rolling and ready to do some cool stuff by Black Friday, right? Or as close to possible as that. But we want to make sure that you're with us for the whole year. So community access for the whole year, converter kit for the whole year, command center for the whole year. The whole thing is $3,000 for the whole year. At the moment, if you buy it separately, it's like $6,000 or something like that. It's a lot more money. But we also, when I was talking to Chris about this, I'm like, not everyone has $3,000 that they can drop at a webinar tonight. So that's fine. I want to help as many people as I can. So for those that need to pay it off over 3 months, I'm totally cool with that, because by the end of your month 1, month 2, you'll be up and making money anyway, and you'll be able to like cover those bills going forward. So yeah, and just to be super clear, as much as I say this is a 12-week challenge, like all of the stuff that you get here, you stay with us for the whole year. And if you need to, you can pay it off over 3 months as well. So I'm going to go to some questions in here and kind of talk about a couple other things. So one thing I do want to say is the next intake that we're doing, of which we start in 4 days, Chris, next slide, we're going to cap it at 20 people. All right, I can't have 100 people joining in the community. I am going to send this out to our email list tomorrow. I am going to post it on our YouTube channel. I am going to post it in the Shopify Australia group, everywhere else. But like 20 is probably the cap that we can probably run this thing at, because if I have any more, it's going to be too many people that I need to help at once. So in terms of when this starts, just correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, it's the 2nd or 3rd of August, I think it was.
3rd of August.
3rd of August.
Next Monday.
Next Monday. So no, this is not me trying to hard sell any of you. It is, if I'm being honest, you've got to do something today before we fill it up and before we sell it out, right? So I might trying to think if I've missed anything. I want to go through here. So yeah, keep going a bit more, Chris. I got another couple of slides I'll go through. Now, I think I've spoken about this anyway. So the goal every single week is like, we want to just make sure that you're incredibly clear on what you need to be doing that week, right? So even inside of the command center thing that I showed you, there is a full system that lives inside there that is called the scorecarding system, right? And one of the first things that we all do together is rate where all of you are at in your journey and go, hey, like this is Wayne and this is Graham and this is Andrew and this is whatever. And like, in terms of their stock and their story and their strategy, we give them a rating out of 10 or whatever. And we go, these are the actual things that these guys and these ladies need to be working on over the next 12 weeks and the next 12 weeks and the next 12 weeks. And I'll say, obviously, first thing is going to be store on your story, right? But you will always know what you need to do. And if you are uncertain, one of the calls that we do every Monday is literally called a scorecard call, which is like where you come and get direction about what you need to do again. So you go to the call and you also see what I tell everybody else to do on the call, right? So say, for example, Simon goes to the call and Simon's like doing $5,000 a month and he's on the call and he realizes that I just said to Wayne, like we need to fix these things on your product page. Simon will go, hang on, that relates to me as well. I know what I need to do, right? But there's a lot of individual help on all of those calls to help you all do everything, correctly. So this is making sense so far for everybody. So no longer do you have to guess what you're doing. You don't just watch courses and go, I still don't know what to do. You no longer just go to like meta ads and boost a post for $50 and like it tanks. You no longer have like, no margins on your product, like no more guesswork. Right. So this is why it's very much a very clear system that everybody follows. So what I'm going to do now, get the next one, Chris, is I'm going to drop a link into the chat if the guys haven't already done that already. So this is the link to go sign up. I'm going to throw the call back to you guys in a second and actually see if anyone has any questions. But I just want to thank everyone who stayed with me so far in here. Again, I hope you can all see how passionate I am about helping people build really good e-commerce businesses, right? There's a lot of people in the space that'll go out there and are trying to sell you a crazy expensive Shopify website that's terrible. When they try to run your ads and they try to charge you, $1,500 a month to join their community or all the nonsense in there. And I went through that journey myself since I was 16. I spent, millions and millions of dollars learning how to do this stuff. And now these days, I'm just like, I want to make sure everyone that I meet on all these calls has access to do what I wish I could have done 20 years ago. And I'd probably be a billionaire instead of a millionaire, would be nicer. But I got to make sure you guys go on the right path as fast as you can. So if anyone has any questions, I can see there's tons of questions here. I might just start answering them. So let's have a look. Graham Lee loves a chat. Let's see. Hey, Chris, which ones do you want to go through? So
just going back myself now. So
yes, everything is on the Shopify platform. If you don't currently have a Shopify account, we can hook you up with a Shopify account as well. So that's good. Someone has soft furnishings like cushions and silk. we have a lady in the community. She sells tons of silk scarves. She makes them herself. She kills it.
We had some
Graham's a
questions.
swimming teacher.
So are the calls in the evening or during the day? Just probably just good for everyone to know. So most are, like Chris McLean said, most are 10 a.m. each day. Some are a little bit later in the afternoon, but ultimately you get access to all the recordings. So like for someone like Jade, she can't make the times. No problem. She grabs the recordings, and then whenever she has questions, she just engages in the community, and that's how she gets her support.
Wayne can ask the question, do the ConvertKit? No, so the ConvertKit's yours, mate. So yes, effectively what the ConvertKit is it's a high converting thing. It's yours. Once you buy it, it's yours forever. Like what happens a lot with people, like we work with brands when they're new, right? And we come along and we install the ConvertKit. And I might do this as a demo. You know what? This is a really good exercise just to show you the process that someone who's gone on this journey with us as where they're at now. So and then I'll come back to these questions because I think this is just a very powerful kind of demo. So, camp a lot. Let me show you something here. So, this guy, amazing guy, Paul. I don't know how old Paul, Chris. How old Paul Camp? What you reckon? Anyway, he's an ex-accountant. He hated being an accountant. He met us, came to a workshop. Nicest guy you'll ever meet. And he's like, I want to start an e-commerce business. He already had some traction. I said, Paul, your website's crap. And he goes, okay. And I said, your story's crap. He goes, okay. So join the community. And as a conservative accountant, right? So when I say conservative, he's very considered. He thinks about things properly. He doesn't jump into things. He joined the community. He started with, and everyone can probably see my screen here, I would think. So back here, he did what everybody does, right? So he started with, hopefully it still exists, his old site. If not, I'll find it. No, that's not it. That's the Dawn theme, which is, maybe it's this one. So, no, this is old. All right. Let's assume that you can go back and you can see Paul's old first site, and it was pretty horrendous, right? So now, he came along and he purchased the ConvertKit, right? And it's, again, for context, the ConvertKit is you do it yourself. You get a course. The course is super easy to do. He tells you how to change your buttons, put stuff in the right order. Everything's good. Happy days, right? So Paul built this website himself. Like, so he sells products like Starlink products and stuff, and you go camping, and he did all his messaging and da. And then this is like what Paul did with his website. And Paul got to, let's go back like the last 2 years. I think he got to about there, like 23 grand a month or something with the ConvertKit, right? Paul recently came back to us and said, the ConvertKit's great, Paul. He goes, but like, I know you guys obviously run an agency. Can you go and finish the site for me and make it even better again, right? So now Paul's website looks like this. No, not like that. Hang on, I'll go back again. This is the joy of Shopify. It does stupid things and it won't let you show the live site at the same time. So one day I'll get much better at presenting, but in the meantime, you guys will just be like, at least he knows e-commerce. So here's Paul's new website, right? So he had access to the community. He had the ConvertKit. He's got the command center. Here's his new site. Like, it looks beautiful, right? I won't go through all of it because you'll be here for days, but we built his new website. Here's where Paul's at now in terms of like his growth. And again, I can't fake this stuff, right? So last month he did nearly $80,000. All Paul does is a tiny bit of meta ads, and that's it. All right. So for you guys, come through here and you go, all right, I'm there. I do that, get the ConvertKit. I get better. I buy a better website. I continue to grow.
It's the same things we do with this brand that we do with every other brand. I saw every other brand from KK. I sell a monthly subscription box. Will this work? So, subscription model, drop shipping, making your own products. These are all just different business models. Yes, you're selling a product online. We can absolutely help you. This will absolutely work for you. Some things need to change slightly, but absolutely will help guide you through that, KK.
Yeah.
Dominic,
so I'm just going to show you more. I'm just going to show you like lots of things, right? So example, we work with some of the weird, like most unique brands. This lady sells a product that you put your veggies in your fridge, and it keeps your fruit and your veggies and stuff fresher for like 8 weeks, right? So this is an example of like, this is a custom site by us, but at one point she used the ConvertKit, right? And you can see, for example, you come into here, and I go to, and again, like no other coach is going to get on a call and show you this stuff, but like if I go analytics, and she's got some personal stuff going on as well, but if you go back like there, like she's gone up to like $192,000 last month, right? So she had a couple of health issues going on this month, so she's wound it back, and she had some stock issues, but you can see the growth that she's gone through. This dip here happened because she sold so much stuff, she ran out of stock. This is the other. I know this is people go, "What a nice
That's down the
problem to
track
have."
problem, bro. That's a down the track problem.
People,
James just asked, I'm at the start. I don't even have a product or a website, but you have an idea of what you want to do. Are you too much at the beginning? Absolutely not. So the
no.
best time to start working with us is at the very beginning. Same thing with Jade. Like we use Jade as an example because she came to this without even an idea of the product to sell. She just knew that she wanted to do this, and we're just going to we're getting the same process that worked with her in an accelerated form over the next 12 weeks. And the first 2 weeks is all about product, like we said. So
what's Igor's website, Chris, from Snapback Hats? Because he I
is it snapback hats?
Yeah, I think. So let me give you an example. We've got Snapback.
Sounds good, Angela. I see a call tomorrow. We'll have a chat there. I know you have a lovely product too, so I'm sure we'll see you in there. Allison, what if I want someone to build my website? Allison, so I'll have Julian again leave a link. If you're after more of you just want someone to be hands-on and do the work for you, we absolutely do that. We can build websites. Again, I need you to book a link. Julian will reply to you with a link. Go ahead, book a time there, and we'll have a chat about building that.
Because the journey that people go on with us, just to be like super clear, right? Like a lot of people, not everyone can afford to get a custom website. So we go, cool. That's why we built the converter kit. Yep. Because I don't want people going through the Shopify store and going, and know if, I don't know if Darren Flood's on here. He's one of my mates. He's like, don't talk bad about Dawn. You know what I mean? And I'm like, because everyone gets the Dawn theme all the time, right? And the Dawn theme exists on the Shopify store because it's easy for you to use, right? But it doesn't have all of the conversion elements, and that's what holds your store back, right? So, because what Shopify want to happen is they want to go, hey, Richard went to Shopify and Richard installed Dawn, and so did Tiara, and so did Allison, and so did everyone else. And they go, hey, look, I've got an ecom brand now, and I've got this thing. And then like 6 months later, after you've paid Shopify your fee per month to have your Shopify store, which is what they want, right? They go, it's not working, right? And then you go, now what do I do? So the next thing people go by, I'll go get the second best theme on the Shopify store and hope for the best, right? So whereas what we do with the converter kit, we go, here is the theme that crushes it. And we're using it for all of our brands. And I wish you had found that at the start. Like we could never put that on the Shopify store though, because it's too advanced for most. It's, there's a lot more to do for most people. So here's the question that I ask sometimes on this call, and I'll just throw this back to everyone on the call. And I might pick people because I'm very grateful that you've all sat here as long as you have. But I always just ask people, what are you most scared of happening if you to go ahead with like joining the challenge today? So feel free to come off mute one at a time and or I'll just like ask people. Wayne Driver, maybe. What are you concerned about happening, failing? All right, we'll do Graham next, but Wayne can go first.
I don't really have concerns about failing because I'm going to succeed at it. It's always been the plan from day one. Obviously, it's I guess okay. If we're going to pull one up, it's the doing all the hard work and then not doing the conversions. So having the CTR and not having the conversions, that's the one. So yeah. Okay.
When you say hard work, you mean like using the converter kit, doing that part of it, or going to the calls, or what?
However we're going to do it. So whether it's through you or not through you guys with the converter kit, or by myself logging away. If it doesn't work at the end of the day, you put all the time and the money into it, and obviously the outcome's not there.
What do you sell, Wayne? What products do you sell? What product do you sell?
I sell coffee these days. So Grad's coffee. So we're doing coffee products, not coffee itself, as in a drink. Coffee beans, powder, all that kind of stuff. Chai, chocolates.
How much do you sell offline of the coffee at the moment?
Well, we're selling more offline than online. So basically online is nothing at present. Through word of mouth, we're doing a few sales a day, but keeping in mind, I've only really been selling for 3 weeks at the moment, but the plan has been in whack for 9 months to get to this point.
So let me be brutally honest. There's a lot of coffee brands that are crap online, right? And they're terrible online. And the reason the first question I ask those people, they go, how's it going offline? They go, it doesn't sell very well offline either. I'm like, well, it's going to be hard for you, right? But like Chris and I spoke to a coffee brand yesterday, and I'm like, it was an interesting call. Like, it's actually, I felt empathy for the person. Like, they've been through a really hard time. They weren't across their numbers in the business. They got on there and they said, "Oh, we do about 200K a year offline." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, would you mind showing me a zero? And I got on, they showed me the zero. They do $1 million a year offline. And I'm like,
Yep.
You do $1 million a year offline, but you do this online. And I looked at the site and I go, "No offense," I said, "Your site is terrible." And I go, "Yeah, we thought so too." But we paid someone else to do it. I'm like, "You've proven that your thing sells offline." And they go, where are you selling all that stuff?" They go, "Well, you do a market every weekend and we got a few wholesalers and da.
Yeah.
And I go, "Why do you think it sells so well at those things?" And they go, "We've got the whole family at the market and we tell the story about the brand and we say all this stuff." And I'm like, "Where's that on your website?" And they go, "It says we sell coffee." I'm like, "Here's your proposal. Let me know when you're ready to get going." Because like, you've already proven it, right? So I'm we wouldn't say to you that, like, by the end of 12 weeks, Wayne, you're going to be doing 50 grand a month or anything. I'm like, but you've proven the model works. You just need help dialing your story, your strategy, doing the next thing. Even if you think about it, right? Like, a lot of the time for coffee brands, it's not so much that they crush it online, but their website becomes the salesperson for your brand whilst you're asleep, because you've got all these customers that exist at markets and wholesale and retail and word of mouth. And I'm sure when they speak to you, they get a great experience, right? But at some point in time, you sleep, right? I assume most days. So when you're sleeping, all those people are going to your website, and it might not be the person who's purchased. It might be the person who's friends with the person who purchased. And they go, "Tastes good when I drunk that. I'll go check out that website later when the kids are screaming and leaving me alone and blah, blah, blah." And I go to the site and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, catch you later." Right. So you lose all that business every year. So even if your brand never turns into a juggernaut from an e-com perspective, like, every single person needs a website that sells for them whilst they're asleep.
Yep.
Right. Like, it's like me, the amount of people that go, "Paul, I see your Facebook ads," and I assume that's why most of you are here. You see me talking on Facebook, yapping at you, and you're seeing that guy, and then go, "He seems a bit like genuine," and da 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 da. And then you went to my website, and then you read stuff, and then you've read my emails, and you read that, and you come here, and you're like ready to do something, right? That your website needs to do the same thing. So, hope that makes sense.
No, thank you very much. No worries. No, I've ready to. Let's plow in. So no worries. And I've never stopped. Not before tonight coming here. I was working on it all morning, half the day. So continuing on, making it better.
Yep. You're the perfect kind of person in this too. Like, you're just keep grinding it out. But now going forward, you're grinding in the right direction. So I'm actually like, "Wayne, do this thing next." Yeah, you're like, "Paul, I'm a coffee guy." Like, in terms of you, but I know how to make really good coffee and source it and da 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 da. I'm like, keep doing that. But like, with the 3 hours that you spend a day in your business now, like, we'll be able to go, "Wayne, do these 3 things." Right. And you go, "Yes, wait, I can see I'm going up the hill, not like drowning in the puddle, trying to figure out what I'm doing." So awesome.
I do got to say, I got a lot of people who are booking calls, which is awesome. Please try. I know it's open right now because I forgot to close it, everybody, but please
book on Friday.
Try not to book on Friday. Even if I just have to give you a buzz on the phone, I'm happy to do it all tomorrow. That's why I think Mick, for example, I've said, "Look, just give me a number if you can, and I'll give you a buzz at some point tomorrow." And then everyone else was booked as well. So please try and keep that in mind. We'll organize it all. And Graham has asked, "Will we be having another one of these?" This is our first one we've done of this, so we want to do it right the first time. So we're going to really smash it and then take a break over the Christmas period and then come back. We'll organize it in the time, probably around February. So you're not going to have another chance to do this kind of accelerator program until next year. So, make your decision around that if you want to go now, if you're willing to wait. And yeah, Mick, thank you. Julian, if you could just take note of that for me from Mick so I can give him a buzz tomorrow.
Any questions from you, Simon? Thanks for sticking around. There's a few that have stuck to that. I appreciate it when people hang out to the end. I also appreciate when people need to leave and they say, "Hey, thank you." Like, that's cool.
By all means.
Like, you please feel like I'm not holding you here and there's no high pressure tactics. This is just, if you want some help, like, hit me up with your questions whilst you've got me.
Yeah.
If you want to come off mute, Simon.
Yep. You there?
Yep, got you, mate.
Yeah, no, sounds great. Only concern is that I've spent so much over the years on websites and other bits and pieces, and I'm still sitting here trying to do the same thing, getting nowhere.
What's your brand, Simon?
Powerhouse images, photographs, and my images, and put onto either jigsaws or posters, prints, three-dimensional products.
Oh, okay. So it's like a print on demand kind of business or something. Yeah, right. Interesting. Yeah, cool. Okay.
So,
what do you? You're not using Shopify at the moment, are you? What are you using? Something
no, I'm using Etsy and
Okay.
Equid.
Right. Interesting. Can I give you the? I'll spit the facts straight at you, right? So this is the unfortunate bit that 99% of people who use the internet these days know what Shopify is from a consumer perspective. What that means is when they go and they click add to cart on your website, there's a big ugly purple button that is a Shopify pay button, or as soon as they go to the shopping cart on the website, and I might even demonstrate. So let me do this, and I'm going to show you why this is so important. So again, this is Fiona. This is the brand that we spoke about. You come here, you can either click this button from Fiona's page, or you can click this and you can check out here. But 99% of people on the internet are expecting to land on this page. This is a Shopify checkout page, right? And all I need to do is click one button, and then Fiona gets my money. It ships to the right place. It uses the right card. It goes to the right address. Like, this is why, like, there's a lot of people who build Shopify sites like yours. You don't use Shopify. So I've got to come here, all right, and I've got to click add to cart. And then I've got to actually find out where you're at. Wait, hang on, your checkout's over here. So like it's really hard to use already.
Yeah.
But if I come over here, and now I've got to go, hang on, I've got to sign up, got to give you my email, I've got to check in, I've got to figure out how to pay. Like, it's these old Etsy kind of, and the other ways of doing this, people just bail at this point. They go, it's too hard. You need to make the checkout as like painfully simple as possible, and Shopify is the answer to that.
Can I touch on something too, Paul, about like, trying things previously that didn't work? Like, do you mind if I just quickly?
Yeah, sure, shoot.
Like this is like this is 98% of our conversations. People have tried other things, didn't work, whatever. Like it is a reality, mate, that like there's a lot of people out there who offer services that really shouldn't be, that maybe they don't really know what they're they don't really care too much about getting results. So the whole reason we even do this workshop in the first place is just to kind of put ourselves out there and just be like, look, this is exactly what we do. We don't hide. We don't, like, everyone we work with, you'll see in a public Facebook group on Shopify Australia, and you can kind of just see the things people say about us. So we can't really convince you that it's going to work this time, but it's just to say, like, you eventually got to find the right people. I hope that's us, but we position ourselves this way deliberately because, we're pretty confident in what we do. So yeah, sorry it didn't work out previously, mate. Like it is unfortunate. There are things out there that shouldn't be, but yeah, I hope that we make it clear that we're different.
Either way, like, move to Shopify.
Oh,
that's a no-brainer, right? Do you know what I mean? So, but you may as well, you know what? You haven't come this far to come this far. You may as well take the leap and go, all right, I'm going to move to Shopify, and we'll help you set up Shopify. And then the next thing you need is you got to go, well, I need a better theme. Go, like, that's the converter kit. And then you go, I probably need some help with, like, from other people just like you. And I'll say this with all due respect as well. Like, most people in our community are like above 40 years old. Like, it's not kids, right? It's mature people and it's senior people, and there's some like straight up oldies in there, actually Rod's on this call. Rod's probably our oldest member. He's a member of our community. How old are you, Rod? 80 what? Rod still has technical
You're always pushing people's ages out, Paul. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what people
put him on the spot.
I was 80 last birthday.
He's 80. You know what I mean? So like Karen's in her 60s, she's doing 15 grand a month. Rod's in there, he's doing what he's doing. Like, most of our audience are like 40 to probably not 80, but like 70, right? Because like they're just, if you've done, you've been a dad, you've been a parent, you're like, now what I want to do my own cool stuff. Do you know what I mean? So even my wife said the other day, she goes, what's the deal with like all the crew in the audience? They're like, they're like my parents' age. I said, oh no, like I listen to them and I want to help them, and like, like it's respectful. And like these people are just doing this for, having a good time doing it. So
I got one more question, Paul. It's probably an important one. So Jane's asked, can I start in a few weeks, or when is it just because you're traveling for your day job? So I just want to make it clear. It's kicking off next Monday, but there are a few people in this situation where they're going to be away for a couple of weeks. This is why we give you the whole year access afterwards. Yes, those 12 weeks will be more systemized and like higher pace, faster pace, but you can absolutely just tap in when you're back and just go to the next thing. And we'll have, for those 12 weeks, we'll have that a specific channel that's going to help you move towards what the thing is you have to be focusing on. So that's completely fine, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of.
And we keep cycling back to those topics as needed all the time. So like for this intake of people, we're going to go, we do this and this and this and this and this. But like, that's why we do that at like 8 calls a week, because we kind of constantly move around the more orders model that grows your brand. So say, for example, you don't absolutely dial in your site and you won't dial in your site within 12 weeks, for example, right? Because I say to everybody, a Shopify site is like never finished. A website, you're always improving it. It's always going to get better and better and better. That's why we go, hey, keep coming for the entire year. Keep coming for 2 years. Keep coming for 3 years. So as we learn new things, as we get new wins, we share them back with you as well. So, and there's zero pressure. There's no pressure for anyone on this call to finish the call in like 12 weeks and go, oh, it's not perfect. Like, that's not what this is about. This is kind of just like, let's try and lose weight within this time frame. But if you don't, we'll continue to support you until you do. Right? That's the whole
at the very
mantra.
least, we're setting the foundations to lose weight moving forward. That's a big deal. Like you're not going to
teach you how to run, teach you how to eat better, teach you how to exercise, teach you how to stop going to Macca's, whatever. Absolutely. Thanks, Richie. All right. Any more questions? Richard, any questions for me, sir? That's a good beard, mate.
Thanks, mate. Well, I'm traveling. In fact, I'm presenting a paper at a conference in Adelaide, so I'm going to be away for probably about 2.5 weeks. So I'm not sure how I engage. I'd like to. I think that what you guys have said today makes a lot of sense. And I think, Chris, when I talked to you, I talked about some of the shonky people that have tried to get me to join their courses online. And most of the courses that I have looked at, I gave to Claude and got Claude to analyze, and he said, don't bother. So it wasn't nice. Wasn't really till I watched a couple of Paul's ever-repeating TikToks that I thought, these guys might be someone worth talking to. And certainly what you've said today makes so much sense in so many ways. I mean, my store's been around quite some time, and it has progressed from being, I guess you'd say, a hobby store because we sell orchids. So it was not our main income, to what we're trying to build now is definitely not so much for selling the plants, but selling all the accessories. And I really need some help to be able to do that in a way that works. It's already operating and we are making sales, but I'm conscious of the fact. I mean, I spent a few dollars on Meta ads the other day and I didn't really know what I was doing. Followed what Meta told me. And even the analytics, I was looking at those going, I can't understand what they're trying to tell me about what I've done. So, look, I need you guys, but I've got a couple of weeks that I'm absolutely under the pump that I can't get any spare time out of it. Just I'm committed to this conference, which is all to do with the other things I do in my life, not selling orchids.
Well, I mean, so you buy this thing tomorrow anyway, and then you've got everything that you need going for. So when you come back in your 2 weeks, you go, cool, I've got the converter kit ready to rock. I've got the command center ready to go. I've got the access to the community. And like you get access to all of this tomorrow, right? So you could be just checking the community and seeing what's going on and watching. And I might show everyone inside the community in a minute, but you can just watch stuff when you're free. And even if it's 2 weeks between now and when you start, like that's largely the product, the stock piece. So if you already have a product that you're selling, like you're going to go to calls and I'm going to be recapping and I'm going to go, you've already got this sorted, Richard, anyway. Right. So you can go, it'd be like to me, it sounds like you do something educational, right? You're a teacher, whatever. I think you said something along those lines.
Acoustics, actually, of all completely different things. I'm a specialist in acoustic material supplies, and I present a paper at Internoise, which is the big international conference in Adelaide. about speech privacy, so preventing conversations leaking between rooms. So,
oh wow, okay,
completely different to the orchids and so on. But
yeah,
I'm at the point in my career too where I really do want to start building more of something I can do from a home office rather than having to go out and do what I'm doing now. So, as I say, our site's been going a while, and it's clicking in some weeks at about 10K. So,
okay. What is the site? Can you share it with me?
Just belgraveorchids.com.au.
Belgraveorchids.com.au. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I assume you've spoken already as well, Chris.
I was going to say now, like, if I'll go to my notes from our conversation, Richard, I wrote down, like, I think the program is going to be a very good fit for you.
Yeah.
Just everything that's already happening. Now, if time's a thing, we could move towards more of it. Maybe we just build the project for you, build a website for you. We can chat about that another day, but I think this is a no-brainer, to be honest. And we can make it work. Timing, we can make that work.
Yeah. So you've already got, so this is the Dawn theme or something by the looks of it, or Impulse or Turbo
don't say that. Yeah. After you said it's taken so much to get to this point. And I hate the theme, to be fair. I don't like it. I think some of the things, just even like the shopping cart icons and those things are like crap.
It looks a bit more like an information blog page rather than an e-commerce optimized page.
But you know what's good for you is because now you understand Shopify. So when we come along and put the converter kit in, you'll come along and you'll look at the product page and you'll be like, oh, I wish I had met Paul ages ago, because now I can just turn on the button that shows breadcrumbs, and now I can turn on the button that shows like the shipping info, and now I could just click the button that says this, and there's a short description in the right spot, and I'll just turn that on and I can do this. Like inside a weekend, knowing what you probably know about Shopify, you would be able to take it from this, use the converter kit, port it, because this is what you're going to do. You port it over to the converter kit. And what I mean by that is you go, okay, this is my banner on my homepage. Take it from here, put it in the converter kit. Here is my text. Take it from here, put it in the converter kit. Take the collections, reset up the collection. Then this should say best sellers. This should say new arrivals. This should say story. And you go, cool. And you go, save. Within, honestly, like if you're good with Shopify, you can turn this around in like 48 hours. And then you can go to the call. And then we'll go, you know what? Like, Richard, we can make this sound better. And we can make this sound better. And we can make this convert better. And we can do this. And we just chip away at it. So you're a perfect brand to be doing this exercise with, because you already get it as well.
So we're not going to lose content. I mean, I don't have to redo the content, because if you look at, for example, the care guides, that was all done, which is, that's all done to build our AI search. So
blog posting,
there's a
it stays there. Doesn't change. That still stays in your blogs. I'm talking about, so where's an example? So here is like Camp-a-Lot, right? So if I give you an actual example, here is the online store, and you come in here, and like for context, we build the converter kit based on a theme that exists, but we put everything in the right order with the right functionality and the right elements, and make it faster and a lot of stuff, right? So you come along in here, and you can just pretty much come in and just go, cool, I want to change my homepage, and I go boom, boom, boom. Come in here and go, I want to change whatever that says there. Go into the image block, find wherever the text is that you change. You go, I don't like that it says that. Click save, boom. Like your Dawn theme doesn't have half of this stuff in here, right? It has like, it's this much, So same with I go to a product page. And I don't think I covered this on the call enough as well. The way we built the converter kit off a theme that exists as well is because we have hundreds of people using it. So when I get people like yourself and like Simon and like Rod and everyone into a coaching call, and I'm like, Richard, see your product page, see how you don't have reviews turned on, do this, mate, do that. And see how you don't have a short description, do this, turn it on. And all of you just go, oh yeah, we can all do that because we're all using the same system. Because previously when I started the Ecom Circle, everyone had a different bloody theme and a different thing, and and people leave the call and they're like, oh, I can't even turn on the price on that page. Do you know what I mean? Or I can't move it. And I'm like, oh, this is why your site doesn't convert well. So we want you to go to call and go, this is so easy. And then if you're stuck, you just post in the community, right? And you go, so our community will tell you how to fix the thing, or our coaches will tell you how to fix the thing. So does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but perfect for you. Jump in when you're ready, and if you think you've missed anything, we'll just do a catch up anyway. We just get on a call and be like, I think you missed this 20 minutes that you should have heard. Like, let's sort it out for you. So
that's what we'll have a group specifically for that.
All this. No one gets left behind in this.
No, the challenge. This is why we're doing this challenge. Allison, I have course fatigue. I wrote that. Yeah, this is like where it's kind of time to start applying the knowledge from those courses. We'll give you our kind of how we do things, and then it's just all about, okay, let's get going.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, Tiara? Or
Tiara was the first one here, and last one left almost.
Really? Am I the last one?
Well, there's a couple, but you were one of the first I remember. So 2 hours.
Yes, I guess everything sounds very much like what I need. Just the converting and maybe some more details, information on my site that even Darren actually pointed out when I spoke to him. So I mean, I'm keen to go. I don't necessarily have any questions. I'm a learn as I go whatever generation I am, and
I don't know what I am either. I'm in the 80s. What are we called? From the 80s.
Yeah, I'm an 85 baby. But yeah. So I'm excited. I'm really keen to get started. Really.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
there you go.
Andrew in the comments, I think, is talking a bit of BS. I think he's the one who just signed up. Just there.
Yeah. Dawn in the bin. We need to have like a ceremony where people just get rid of. Yeah, got a few sign-ups here. Congratulations.
I have a question, if I can.
Of course.
So I'm in business with my 2 daughters, and we signed up and did a yearly sort of membership course, which we learned a lot from, but it was more general knowledge. So if you wanted specific advice on your website or a particular problem that you were having, you virtually had to pay to have a call with a one-on-one with a coach. So is that a similar setup to what you've got, or how?
No, we don't do that. That's why we do 8 calls. That's why we have like 10 coaches where you go to the call when you go to the live call, just like this, right? This is why I do these calls every single day. And we go, and I'll just go around the room and I'll say, like, hey, Avon, like, you're a bit quiet there. And what are you stuck on? And you go, yep, I'm stuck with this. I go, cool. You want to, talk about it now? And we just help you live on the call. And other people will help you live on the call.
So my problem is that, so there's just 3 of us in our business. And so we produce things. So we do personalized gifts. So we make it all ourselves. So very likely that we don't get on very many live calls because timing wise, like we get orders out within, 24, 48 hours. So we're sort of working in the business rather than on the business. So it has to be something that can work odd hours and that sort of thing.
I think so we have a call booked as well, and I'm thinking there might be another option for everyone. Her business is a little further along, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that sound correct with you, Yvonne? I think you mentioned
to answer your question though, like, that's why the community exists. Whether you're a 7-figure brand or a 6-figure brand or a brand new brand, you come to the call. I don't have favorites. Like, I'll get on there and I'll pick like a big brand and I'll pick a little brand and I'll pick the person that's like the noisiest and the quietest. All right. And I'll be like, I'm going to help you today. It's your turn. And then other people will get on there and go, here's the thing. I have no requirements at all. People come to every single call. People are busy doing their business stuff, right? Like, some people go to 1 call a week and they go, Christ, got amazing value. I'll come back next month, right? Or I'll post in the community, or I'll watch a recording, or I'll watch, because we record every single call, goes in the recording channel. You can watch it. Exactly what Jade does, right? She watches all the recordings. Some of our bigger brands take the recordings to send it to their staff. They send it to the kids in the business and they go, watch the call what he did. So however you need help, we help you in the community.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying. There's a lot of other coaches in there and they're like dickheads, right? Where you just go to one coaching call and there's 20 people on the call and all they teach you is meta ads, and you get to the end of the call and they go, see you next week. And you go, I still don't know what to do. And they go, come back next week. You go back next week and you go, I still don't know what to do.
And that was the biggest problem, is that when you're time poor, what's the best value step to do next? Like, if I've got 3 hours, what am I going to spend it on to give me a good result? That's what I missed most.
I'll tell you, I'll share one thing, and I like to think that I'm pretty humble, except for what I'm going to say now. I think, unfortunately, most coaches in the space are one-trick ponies, right? And they only know one or two things, right? So they only know how to run ads, or they only know how to do one other thing. So they actually can't give you the advice that you need. So that's why they keep coming back to do the same stuff week after week. Whereas like I pride myself on knowing a lot about e-commerce. So I look at your situation and going, oh, Yvonne, if I was in your shoes, and again, this is something I'm also passionate about, I put myself in my prospect shoes and goes, if I was Yvonne, how would I get this brand to 100 grand a month with everything that I have access to? And I'll tell you what I would do in your situation. And then I'll go, hang on, like Yvonne's not me. Like she is more competent at doing these things. And I think they're going to have the biggest impact. So I go, I'll tell her to do that. Not like go and do stuffing around fiddly tasks that don't move the needle, which a lot of these other coaches, you know,
they kill time.
They just, yeah. What other coaches are in their entertainment space? Come and hang out with our communities, go to Bali, whatever, go to an e-com trip, go to a meetup, whatever, win a trophy, you know, run red.
The more months they get to bill you for subscription.
Yeah. So, you stick around with them for 12 months, doing nothing every week, and then they take their 10 grand off you and you're like no further ahead.
I will say that the best thing I got out of it, I was a die-hard WooCommerce, never going to move off WooCommerce. And they got me onto Shopify, which was the best move I ever made. So I'll give them that.
Something. Give them that. That's good. Everyone should be off WooCommerce. Like,
yeah. I know that now.
That's good. Yeah, I think you're in the right spot.
Sorry, Yvonne, I have SMS you just regarding our meeting. We've got to organize something just to make sure we're all good. So maybe afterwards, just have a look at that, just to heads up.
Yeah. All right. God, have we been? We're doing. No,
I thought people still just hanging out.
Another 15 minutes, Chris.
I actually do have to run. I've got a dinner to get to in like 20 minutes. So this is the longest I think it's ever gone for.
No, sorry, can't go. We don't eat here. We're still no. Oh, good. All right, Kurt.
Thanks, guys.
I'll be in touch, everyone. So look out in your phones, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, appreciate all of you. Catch you soon. See you inside. Take care.
Have a great night. Thank you.
Bye.